Okay. Sige po. Ay, magandang gabi. Sige. From where are you watching? Pahingi naman po ng thumbs up dyan kapag malinaw po ang ating signal dyan. Hindi po ba tayo putol-putol? Sige. Watching. Good evening, sir. LPT na ako. Bakit mga LPT na ang nanonood ngayon? Sana ba yung fourth batch? Mag-ingay ang mga fourth batch. Sa mga first timers dito, you can message your friends, you can contact your friends who will be taking the board examination. Okay? Everything is served here. Nandito na po sa 336 videos na aking nagawa sa bawat gabi na pagla-live ko. It will secure you your license. Ayun, mga fourth batch. Okay? Yung mga September, don't worry, no? This is for your preparation still. Okay? Huwag niyo isipin na fourth batch lang to, fourth batch lang. Sa lahat na to, hindi naman nagbabago yung mga questions sa Gen Ed. Okay? Yung Prof Ed, of course, that's dynamic. Nagbabago yan. Sige. Watching from Baez City. Hello, Ma'am Cheryl. Sige. Hi, Ma'am Lassie. Good evening po. First timer. Student pa lang po ako. Wow. Okay, no? Ito yung mga top-notcher ang pag-iisip. Hi, Ma'am Melchora. Hi, Sir Ernie. Ayan, mga members sila. Okay. First timers din sino to? I cannot read your name, sir. Hi, Ma'am Regina. September, okay. Ayan. Hi, Ma'am Darna Victoria. Ay, matagal na to si Ma'am Darna. Hi, Ma'am Kimi Kim. Ayun. From Tacorong City. Okay, sige. Gia Reyes, hi. Ayun, so dumarami na sila. Sige ha, you are going to experience now what the things that others had experienced too, no? Bakit ba sila pumasa? Ano bang ginagawa namin dito? Wala namang bago. Wala namang unusual. Sadyang preparation lang talaga na nakafocus sila. Dinidrill ko lamang po yung mga alam na nila. So yung mga binasa ninyo, yung mga minemorize ninyo sa mga reviewers na kinolekta ninyo, ang gagawin ko lamang po is what? I-drill ko yun sa inyo. Tingnan natin kung kaya mong maalala. Okay? So that's the system here. Yung mga inaral mo, ipapadrill ko sa'yo. At yung mga alam ko, isasalang ko na rin para at least yung mga content or yung mga idea, yung mga masabi ko po sa'yo. Okay? And then, pinapadali ko po lahat ng mga rito as much as possible. Dapat konektado sa atin. Dapat contextualize siya. Dapat po, as much as possible, authentic siya. So, yun yung mga technique at mga practices na time-tested almost a year na po. Tatlong batch na po yung napakaraming pumasa at napakaraming nag-top. Ngayon, recently, may top 1, no? Si Ma'am Marie Chris Colipano, top 1. And then the top 2 also. And then the top 3, the top 6, the top 9, the top 8, the top 10. And ang dami nila talaga. So, yun. Nag-work naman po talaga. So, try to adjust, okay, with your preparations. Again, ang ginagawa lang po natin dito is pinapadrill po ang lahat ng mga naaral at nabasa ninyo at the comfort of your homes. Pwede ka pong nakahiga dyan, wag lang po talaga sa higaan mo sa bed mo kasi matutulog ka lang. Okay? As much as possible, you find a place na pag-aaralan mo lang po talaga. So, again, maaari ka pong nakahiga dyan or kahit anong ginagawa mo dyan. You can listen and participate. Yan lamang po. So, simulan na po natin, no? Motivation muna tayo. Again, once again, good evening. This is Sir Melvin Boracho, the viral tapasero to maestro, helping you with all the things, no, that I know and have studied. I will share it to you so that your license will be served to you, no, this June 26, 2022, no. Napakatagal na po ng panahon na na-schedule itong examination mo, pero dahil po sa mga hindi inaasang mga pangyayari at circumstansya ng buhay, ay kailangan mong maghintay and do not wait for another year to get it. This is your perfect time. Okay? Dapat mo nang kunin yan ngayon. Dahil kapag hindi, you will go back next year. O alalahanin mo yung pagkuha pa lang ng slot, stress ka na. Alalahanin mo yung paglinya sa PRC na napakahaba, di mo alam yung gagawin. Okay? Do you want to experience that again? And most importantly, isipin mo na lang na wala yung pangalan mo. Paglabas ng resulta, wala yung pangalan mo sa listahan ng pumasa. Do not let your mama down. Always make mama proud, di ba? So, wala yung pangalan mo. Ang sakit nun. Yung mga kaibigan mo na naniniwala sa'yo. Yung jowa mo. Yung anak mo. Lalo na si nanay at si tatay, di ba? Sila yung unang masasaktan kapag hindi mo na ipasa to. Okay? So, this will be your last board examination. How to do that? Be serious about what we do here. Makinig ka sa lahat ng mga sinasabi ko. Hindi po ako nagsasalita ng labas sa board examination. I also have flaws. Okay? I am open to criticisms. Hindi po ako na perfect sa board exam. So, might as well, marami akong mali. Pero the thing here is, kaya ko pong ipapasa ang board examination sa inyo. Or even top it. Yes, that's true. Sir, retaker lang kasi ako, hindi ako magta-top. No. You have the fair chance to top. Kahit retaker ka. Okay? Kahit 10 beses ka na bumagsak, you still have the chance to top. Sir, 72 lang yung rating ko, 60 lang yung rating ko nung kahit 75 lang ngayon. No. I have posted several contents about yung una niyang take is 70 yung rating niya. Pangalawa niyang take is 83. Another, una niyang take 72. Pangalawa niyang take 87. Posible ba yan sa'yo? Yes, naging posible nga sa kanya. Okay? Again, hindi ka binigyan ng sa mga retakers. Hindi ka binigyan ng 75 nung una kang nag-take dahil you are destined for something greater. You are destined for something better. And that is 87 and up. Bakit? Kapag nagpaparanking ka sa DepEd, yung 87, perfect na sa ranking yan, di ba? So again, ang atin pong standard dito is 87 and up. I don't go for 86 and below. As much as possible. So, yun pala, kung iisipin mo, hindi na ito about passing the board exam. It's about getting perfect when you will go to DepEd and have your RQA. Okay? The registry of the roosters of qualified applicants, no? Isipin mo yan, ha? So, can you do that? Yes, kaya mo ba? Yes, kaya nga nila, di ba? May apat ka namang may dalawa ka namang kamay dyan, may dalawa kang paa, may dalawa kang mata, may dalawa kang tenga. Kumpleto ka ba dyan? Diba? Basta't may utak ka, kaya mo tong ipasa. I'm serious about that. Okay, so, yon. Professional education tayo ngayon. Medyo concept-based tayo. So, ibig sabihin, hindi tayo masyadong nagme-memorize dito. Kapag nagtatanong ako, sasagot ka lang. And then, nangangailangan tayo ng masinsinang pag-iisip, metacognition, okay? Critical thinking, analytical thinking, apply natin dito. And sir, how do you answer board exam questions in professional education? You just apply the quote method. Again, what's my method? The quote method. Ano 'yon? C for comprehension, no? I-develop mo 'yan. Sa pagbabasa, it will eventually be sharpened. Comprehension. So, pagbasa mo ng tanong, intindihin mo yung tanong. Hindi mo naintindihan, basahin mo ulit. Read it twice. Okay? Do not read it aloud dahil masuntok ka ng katabi mo. Okay? So, next. A. Add one out. Sige. Ang technique na to, napaka-epektibo sa mga question na hindi mo alam. Example, no? Nagtanong ang board exam ng isang konsepto na wala sa pag-aralan mo. Ang gagawin mo dyan, add one out, ha? Bilang isang human being, ikaw po ay naghahanap ng mali sa mga tao. Tama? Sa dami po ng ginawang tama ng iyong kaibigan noon, Ang naalala mo lang talaga yung mali niyang ginawa, kaya nasira yung pagkakaibigan ninyo. We are naturally fault finders. Why not apply that in the board exam? Maging fault finder ka doon, hanapin mo yung mali. Di ba? Ang bilis pong makita ng mali. And then until such time na mapupunta ka na sa tama. Sir, what about the other term for add one out is removal. Okay? Now, may isang circumstance sa board exam na yung add one out, napaka-epektibo niya, lalo na kapag ang question included, naghahanap ng which is an example na sagot. Okay? Ang mali na choice. Yun yung kadalasan ginagamit ng mga top-notcher. At sila po yung nag-a-advance talaga dyan kung paano i-apply, paano siya perfectly fit sa bawat tanong na nahihirapan sila. And yes, they're able to surpass the expectation given to them. So that's it. That's add one out. Anticipation naman, ang letter A, pagbasa mo ng tanong, naintindihan mo na siya, you make educated guess. Ano ba yung educated guess? Lumabas yan sa board exam, no? It is otherwise known as educated guess. With all the things that you have studied, try to recollect. Isipin mo, ano ba tong tanong na to? Related siya sa breaking down of ideas. Wait, dahil breaking down of ideas, dapat may analysis sa choices. Go to the choices, hanapin mo analysis. Merong analysis, so mag-iisip ka pa ba? No, ibig sabihin siya na yung sagot. Pero teachers, kapag wala si analysis, huwag ka na mag-hold back sa yung alam mo, no? Intindihin mo na lang. Okay? Saan ba dong related kay analysis, di ba? Ganon yun. Okay? So I hope malinaw yan. And then the last one is the clue is on the stem. Okay? The clue is on the stem of the question. Hindi po nagbibigay ang board exam ng tanong na walang clue dun sa stem ng tanong. Okay? Ang clue talaga dyan is nandyan. So, yung mga clue na yan, mapapansin mo kapag ina-apply mo yung yung paghahanap ng clue words doon sa tanong ng board exam. So, atin pong papansinin kung ano yung mga tanong, ano yung pinakadiwa sa tanong na gusto niyang ipaabot sa mga nagsasagot. So, that's it. Quote method, C for comprehension, O for add one out, letter A for anticipation, and the last one is the best clue is on the stem. Isipin mo yan, okay? Sa Prof Ed, epektibo yan. That's tried and tested too. So now, let's go to the content proper. Ayan, handa ka na ba dyan? Okay. So, sa mga bago dyan, you can just click the subscribe button and click the notification bell button para updated ka agad kapag po ako ay nagla-live. Okay? And then, click the notification bell button, select all. Ibig sabihin, lahat po ng pagla-live ko, ma-update ka. Okay? And also, you can also have time reading the comments of the LPTs na kakapasa pa lang. Basahin mo na lang dyan. Andyan sila lahat. Okay? And then also, for the final drills, yun lang po yung talagang naka-private sa aking lahat ng pagtuturo. Dahil lahat po ng mga contents at subjects na aking itinuro dito publicly, gagawin ko siya in one night. That's why i-private ko siya para po sa mga at least spend na magpa-member dito. Sir, I don't recommend final drills kung wala naman talaga. Naka-free po lahat ng aking videos. Okay? Maliban po sa yung sum up na talaga sa lahat ng mga drills. Okay? Para po yun sa mga members lang. Pero again, lahat na po nandito. You can just focus watching all of them here. Okay? So that's it. Thank you so much for the people who sponsored the load so that we were be able to continue doing live streams. Salamat po. Maraming salamat. Now, let's have the first item. Okay, disclaimer lang po tayo, maraming tanong ang ipinost sa Facebook, ipinost sa Google, na kailangan nating bigyan ng pansin at ipaliwanag dahil napakaraming konsepto na konektado sa kanya. And if hindi natin maipapaliwanag, okay, example, that's one of the difference here dahil kapag nagbabasa ka ng reviewer, yung reviewer kung ano yung sinabing sagot, yun lang yung alam mo. Dito kasi lahat po ng item ipapaliwanag ko at paano sila ginamit sa board exam. Ayos? Okay, so here are the links, no? Na maaari nyong bisitahin, no, para makita ninyo yung mga katanungan at marami pa, at actually marami ding self-made questions, no, na aking ginamit para yung mga choices ma-adjust ko sila at ma-discuss. Okay? Disclaimer lamang po, this is for rationalization teaching, no? Criticism, some of them, no? Dahil may maraming mali po sa online na ipinopost tapos naniniwala naman kayo. So at least, at the very least po, kaya nating maitama, no? At the best of our ability. So, yun. Fair use lamang. And this is only for educational purposes. Let's go for the first item. Handa ka na ba? Ay, paglalaban mo pa ang iyong lisensya. Uyun. Okay. Sige. So, let's go to the... Ay, paano po just message me on my page, Melvin Osabel Buracho. I will show you. Okay. Paano po, gusto nyo may member button naman dyan. Pwede kayo mag-click dyan. Pero pwede rin dito. If you want pero I don't recommend. Kung walang-wala talaga, this is for everybody. Okay? Yun lamang talaga yung final drills ang akin pong i-private para na lang po sa mga nag-join. Pero again, I don't recommend it. Here is my page. Yan. Yan yung page ko, official page yan. Melvin Osabel Borracho. So you can check that out kung gusto niyo naman po talaga mag-join kung matigas yung ulo mo. Okay? Basta, nandito na lahat. Just drill and drill yourself. The videos are uploaded. Napakarami na pong videos. If you just watch them, kahit hindi na ako mag-live, kaya mo nang ipasa ang board exam. Pero again, we need to because may mga updates naman po. So kailangan nating mag-adjust. Kailangan nating maging up to date. So let's go! First item. Finally, nakapasar na jud ko, sir, after 2 years. Thank you so much. Aisel Marata LPT. Ay, congratulations. And congratulations also to the person who took the board examination 16 times and passed it on the 17th time. Ay, congratulations po, Lionel Mabakiao. 16 times kang bumagsak. Ako, mababaliw na ako dyan. Hindi ko na alam gagawin ko. 16 times! Masasanay. Walang masasanay talaga sa failure, actually. So, I salute you, Sir Lionel, for making it and for the patience of waiting. Okay? Kung hinog ka na, ibibigay talaga ng Diyos yan. Oh, di ba? So, congratulations once again. And also, congratulations to Sir Reginaldo Borracho, my cousin, for passing the board exam. Teacher Johelia, Chintin Lahoy-Lahoy, congratulations po. And then Teacher Carla Diaz, my classmate. Teacher Ria Taburada, my classmate. And Christine Godines, my classmate too. And Japet Aguilar ba? Japet Lumusbog. So they are the people whom I happened to be with when I was in college, and gladly for this time around they were able to pass the board examinations. Congratulations po, guys. So now let's go. Which is sige, simulan natin sa tanong na to. Which is an application of Pavlov's idea of stimulus generalization? Wait, which is an application of Pavlov's idea of stimulus generalization? Tama ba tong tanong na to? Parang mali. Wait. Teka lang ha, nagkamali ito. I will just edit the question. Discrimination to. Stimulus generalization, maninoon. Okay. Okay. Which is an application of Pavlov's idea of stimulus discrimination. And here are the choices. A, peer mentoring. Letter B, peer tutoring. Letter C, immersion to collaborative learning. Letter D, choosing leaders. Sige. Do you happen to know Pavlov? Who is Pavlov, by the way? Pavlov is the person behind classical conditioning. Tama ba? So ano ba yung classical conditioning niya? Sabi niya, ang respond daw dyan ng bata automatic. Kapag po na-condition na ang isang bata, ang respond niya is automatic. So now, ano yung ginamit niya sa pag-experiment niya? It's the dog, no? Dog yung ginamit niya. Now, meron siyang mga konsepto na inintroduce, yung stimulus generalization, yung stimulus discrimination, okay? Paano natin siya iintindihin? Ganito yan. Nung bata ka, okay, again, nung bata ka, kinagat ka ng isang itim na aso. Tapos, nakakita ka ng puti, nakakita ka ng brown, nakakita ka ng gray na aso, natatakot ka sa kanila. Ang kondisyon po na sa tawag dyan is generalization. Stimulus generalization. Lahat po, kinatatakutan mo na. Now, what is stimulus discrimination? Ang sinasaad dyan, nung kinagat ka ng itim na aso, nakakita ka ng puting aso, hindi ka natakot. Yung itim lang talaga yung kinatatakutan mo. What is the condition called in Pavlov's idea of stimulus discrimination? That, yes, of stimulus and response theory. That is the discrimination. So now, question, san dyan? Okay? San dyan yung nagpapakita ng stimulus discrimination? Isipin mong mabuti. First question pa lang to, kapag nagkakamali ka dito, ibig sabihin, number 1 sa board exam, mali ka na. Oh, naku po. So isipin nyo ha. Again, ulitin ko yung paliwanag, tapos you have the chance to what? To change your answers. Again, ulitin ko. Kapag stimulus generalization, kinagat ka ng aso, tapos natakot ka sa lahat ng kulay ng aso, sa lahat ng breed ng aso. Ang stimulus discrimination, kinagat ka ng puting aso, ang kinatatakutan mo, yung puting aso lang. Yung ibang aso, hindi mo kinatatakutan. That's stimulus discrimination. Okay? Now, which of the following is the application of those concepts? A, peer mentoring. Peer mentoring po, yun po yung ikaw, no, teacher na beginning teacher ka pa lang, no, pwede kang i-mentor, no, ng iyong highly proficient teacher. Okay? Peer tutoring naman po, ito po yung ginagawa natin inside the classroom. This is actually called peer tutoring. Yung dalawang bata, yung matalino at yung mentally challenged, i-pair mo sila para turuan po ng matalino yung mentally challenged. Immersion to collaborative learning. Ano yan? Experience, di ba? Experience-based learning. So, letter D, choosing leaders. Pagpili po ng mga kandidato. Di ba? Stimulus discrimination, which is which? So klaro na. Yan, sumasagot na sila. O, may letter C pa rin. Why? Immersion to collaborative learning, maganda siya, di ba? Tandaan nyo po, sa board exam, kapag maganda yung choices, either siya yung sagot or hindi siya yung sagot. Okay? So, isipin nyo yan. Collaborative, maganda naman yan, pero hindi naman po siya yung tinatanong. Okay? So now, choosing leaders. Yun yung sagot niyo. Isipin natin. Choosing leaders. Ibig sabihin, kaya niyang magbigay ng distinction between good and bad leaders. Tama? So that is stimulus discrimination. Mali na? That's letter D. Very good. So mga sumasagot dyan, tama ang sagot ninyo. Oh, very good. Next. Letter D ha. Again, ulitin ko. Kapag po natatakot ka sa lahat ng aso, kahit puti lang yung kumagat, that's stimulus generalization. Pero natakot ka sa kung sino lang yung kumagat sa'yo, that's stimulus discrimination. And the application of that is the election, no? Yung nagpili ka ng leader na mabuti, okay? So hindi mo yun iboboto yung masama, so that's discrimination. Next. Which measure of central tendency is easily affected by extreme scores or outliers? Ulitin ko. Which measure of central tendency is easily affected by extreme scores or outliers? Letter A, how many? Ano ba yung mga measures of central tendency? The mean, median, and the mode, no? So is it mean, median, mode, or standard deviation? Ah, sige nga. Mas maganda teachers kung may paliwanag ka sa iyong sagot. Okay, bakit ito yung sinagot mo? At least magre-retain yan sa'yo pagdating ng board examination na, oy, mali yung sagot mo ha. O sige, bigyan niyo po ako ng paliwanag dyan. Which measure of central tendency is easily affected by extreme scores? Madali daw siyang maapektuhan ng extreme scores. Okay, mean, median, or mode. Oh, what are the three measures of central tendency? The mean, the median, and the mode. What is done through inspection? Mode. Ang tinatanong sa board exam dyan, t-shirt daw na sinusuot ng mga tao. Ang sagot dyan, mode, no? Mostly appearing, frequently appearing. Now, let's go to mean, median. Si mean po, siya po yung most reliable measure of central tendency kung walang outliers. Ano ba yung mga outliers, sir? Yung mga malalaking score, di ba? Example, may 1, may 2 na score, tapos yung pangatlong score, 100. Yung outlier dyan, yung 100, malaking score. Malinaw? Now, bakit siya easily affected? Dahil nga po ang mean ay the arithmetic average. Tinatanong sa board exam, it is the arithmetic average. Sagot, mean. Ibig sabihin po, paano ba kunin scores, di ba? Say for example, may tatlo tayong scores. Unang score is 3. Pangalawang score is 1. Ang pangatlong 100. So there are 3 scores. Now, to get the mean, you have to add them. 100 plus 3, that's 103 plus 1, that's 104 divided by 3. Di ba? So that will be 26, depende na yan, 26, 25. Now, isipin mo, yung 25, malayo ba sa 1? Yes. Yung 25, malayo ba sa 3? Yes. Ibig sabihin, mean is easily affected by big scores or outliers or extreme scores. Malinaw yon. Yes. Now, sir, dahil easily affected siya kapag may extreme scores, ano yung gagamitin natin? Ang gagamitin natin dyan is the median. Okay, bakit? Example, ang score natin, 1, 3, and 100. To get the median, you just have to do the arrangement. No? Depende sa'yo kung ascending, 1, 3, 100. Pwede ascending, 100, 3, 1. Whatever you decide on, whatever you are comfortable with, you follow. Okay? That's the way on how to get the median. Arrange the numbers first. Huwag mo siyang i-arrange, huwag mo siyang kunin agad base lang po sa raw scores na yun. Okay? Dahil maaari po na yung nauna 3, yung pangalawa 1, yung pangatlo 100. Pare din pong i-given nila na yung nauna 100, yung pangalawa 1, yung pangatlo 3. So kapag ang alam mo lang sa median is the middlemost score, ay sasabihin mo agad, okay, si 1 yung median niya. Now, ang median po, the first step, ulitin ko, the first step to get the median is you have to arrange the number from lowest to highest or from highest to lowest. Depende sa'yo. Okay? So, ano yung given natin? 3, 1, and 100. Let's arrange them. Ano yung una? 1. Ano yung pangalawa? 3. Ano yung pangatlo? 100. Now, what is the median after arranging? It's 3. Okay? Again, what is the median? 3. Now, tanong, ang 3 ba malayo kay 1? No, no, no. Again, ulitin ko, ang 3 ba malayo kay 1? No. Ibig sabihin, kahit may outlier, yung 100, kahit may big score, yung 100, hindi pa rin naaapektuhan yung maliliit na score dahil po, in-arrange natin sila from ascending or descending, no? So, ibig sabihin, hindi apektado si median sa extreme or big or outliers. Malinaw yon. Malinaw ha? Now, ano yung sagot dyan? Which measure of central tendency is easily affected by extreme scores or outliers? Ang sagot is mean. Bakit? Of the word easily affected. Ibig sabihin, madali siyang maapektuhan. Pero kapag tinanong ka sa board exam, which is most reliable? Ang sagot, mean. Pero kapag tinatanong sa board exam, which is most reliable when there are outliers, may big scores, ang sagot dyan, median. What is done through inspection, sagot dyan, mode. Which is frequently appearing, sagot dyan, mode. I-drill nga natin, frequently appearing, mode. Arithmetic average, mean. Most reliable, mean. Middle most score, median. How to get the median? Step 1, arrange the scores from lowest to highest or highest to lowest. Very good. What is most reliable when there are big scores? Median. Kapag t-shirt ang tinatanong sa board exam, mode ang sagot dyan. Sir, ano yung letter D, sir? Hindi namin yan kilala. That is standard deviation. Okay, pag-usapan natin yung standard deviation na lang. Baka wala yan sa ibang mga tanong later. Ang standard deviation po ay parte ng measure of dispersion. Ano yung dispersion? Ang ibang tawag sa board exam dyan, measure of variability. So kapag sinasabi nating variability, ano ibig sabihin dyan? Marami. Gaano kakalat? Okay? Gaano ba kakalat ang mga scores ng bata? Nagpapatest ka. Titingnan mo ngayon through the measure of variability kung gaano ba sila kakalat. Maganda ba yung pagkakalat nila or medyo kailangan ng improvement? Yun yung punto po ng measures of variability. Paliwanag natin. May tatlo pa rin sa measures of variability. Okay, una, ang pinaka-simple, most crude, getting the highest score minus the lowest score, that is called the range. Again, ang tawag doon? Range. Now, ang pangalawa dyan is ang variance. Okay? Variance is the square of the standard deviation. Okay? Now, ang standard deviation, siya yung palaging tinatanong sa board exam. So, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng standard deviation? Ang standard deviation po ay pinapakita niya kung ang scores ay malayo sa isa't isa, okay, or malapit sa isa't isa. Now, kapag binigyan ka ng board exam na 1 daw ang standard deviation ng exam na ginawa mo, ano daw ang ibig sabihin yan? Malalapit ba ang mga scores or malalayo sa isa't isa? Yun yung tinatanong sa board exam. Now, ganito yan, teachers. Kapag binigyan ka ng board exam na which of the following standard deviation shows that the scores are bunched together. Tapos binigyan ka ng 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ano yung tanong? Bunch together. That's choose the lowest standard deviation. Bakit? Mas mababa ang standard deviation, mas malalapit yung scores. Ulitin ko, sulat mo dyan. Kapag mas mababa ang standard deviation, mas malalapit yung score sa isa't isa. Maganda ba yan? Yes. Pero ang let, tinanong, kapag ang standard deviation mo 0, ano ibig sabihin? The scores are the same. Okay? Again, kapag ang standard deviation mo ay 0, ang ibig sabihin po, the scores are the same. Kapag naman po 1, the scores are near from each other. Kapag naman po 2, maaari pa rin. Again, ang rule dyan, kapag mas mababa na standard deviation, mas maganda ang scores. Ulitin ko, kapag mas mababa ang standard deviation, mas maganda ang scores. Okay? Again, gaano kakalat? That's the measures of variability. I-drill natin ang tendency at variability ha. Tingnan natin. Again, what is the simplest measure of variability? Range. How to get the range? Highest score minus the lowest score. That's the range. Okay? Mas mababa ang standard deviation, mas magaling o mas mahina? Mas magaling. Which has the good scores? Standard deviation of 1, standard deviation of 5. Standard deviation of 1. Ano ang ibig sabihin ng standard deviation of 0? The scores are the same. What is most reliable measure of central tendency? Mean. What is the arithmetic average? Mean. What about for the middle most score? Median. How to get the median? Step 1. Arrange the scores from lowest to highest and then highest to lowest. Depende na yan sa'yo. What about what is done through inspection? That is the mode, which is easily affected by big scores. Mean, which is best to use when there are big scores. Median. Ano ang ibang tawag sa big scores? Extreme scores. Outliers. Malinaw ba yon? Yes. So at least hindi na po vague sa inyo ang konseptong yan. Dahil laging tinatanong sa board exam yan. Okay? Very good. O kapag naiintindihan mo, say yes. Malinaw na ba? Sige nga, malinaw na ba? Okay, very good. Let's proceed. Ayan. Yes, malinaw na. Okay. Okay, very good. Next. Oh, di ba? Ito yon. Mean, median, and the mode. Oh. Now, tapos na tayo sa mean, median, and the mode. So, pag-usapan natin tong mga kurtosis at skewness. Okay? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng kurtosis, sir? Diyan mo makikita kung ang iyong curve ay normal ba siya, or leptocortic ba siya, or platycortic ba siya. So, ano ibig sabihin ng platycortic? Ibig sabihin, ang scores, grabe kakalat. Ulitin ko, kapag platycortic, ang scores ay napakamalalayo sa isa't isa. From 1 to 10, lahat po nakakuha ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Kalat ang scores. That's what you call platycortic curve. Again, anong tawag? Platycortic. Plat ba? Di ba? Platycortic. Kapag naman po leptocortic, lahat ng scores parehas. Leptocortic, ganoon naman yun. Parehas lahat. Okay? Kapag naman po mesocortic, ito yung tinatanong sa board exam. Which has the bell shape? Mesocortic. The normal curve. Okay? Sige, ulitin natin. I-drill natin. Ano yung tatlong curve ng kurtosis? That's the platy, the lepto, and the mesocortic. Yung platycortic, kalat, heterogeneous ang scores. The scores are so scattered. The scores are far from each other. Yun. Ano naman yung lepto? The scores are homogeneous. The scores are near from each other. The scores are bunched together. Okay? Ano naman yung normal? It's the bell shape. May nakakuha ng low, may nakakuha ng high, pero ang scores, most of them are average. Yun yung tinatanong. Again, may nakakuha ng low. Tingnan mo yun, no? Normal curve, may nakakuha ng low, may nakakuha ng high, pero most of the scores are average. Okay? Pero kapag homogeneous, lepto. Kapag naman po heterogeneous, platy. Kapag naman po scattered, platy. Kapag naman po bunched together, lepto. Kapag naman po bell shape, mesocortic. Okay? Palinaw yun. That's all about kurtosis. Now, pag-usapan natin ang skewness. Ito yung ang daming nalilito. Bakit ba nalilito ang iba rito? Kasi nga, isipan nila ito na ang congregation at ang skewness ay magkaparehas. No? So, atin pong ipapaliwanag ito ng malinaw basta maintindihan nyo lang Again, you can comment there if hindi nyo masyadong nakuha dahil i-upload ko ito. You can watch this after the live. Okay? Again, you can watch this after the live. Huwag po kayong mag-alala dahil drill naman po ito. Maaari nyo po itong mapanood. To the right, okay, is the positively skewed. And then skewed to the left is the negatively skewed. Ibig sabihin siya yung matatalino. Okay? Bakit? Doon tayo nalilito sa skewness. Bakit? Tinatanong ng board exam, kapag ang scores ay congregated to the right, is it positively skewed or negatively skewed? Doon ang problema. Kasi sinasagot pa rin nila kapag congregated to the right daw is, ano yan sir? Positively skewed yan dahil may right. No. The word there is congregation. Ibig sabihin, to the right, ang scores daw, nagkumpul-kumpul doon sa kanan, ibig sabihin dyan, that is negatively skewed. So, isasabihin ko na, kapag po negatively skewed, that is skewed to the left, but the scores are congregated to the right. Ulitin ko, kapag negatively skewed, ang scores ay skewed to the left, congregated to the right. Ano ba yung meaning ng skewness? Tail. The tail is in the right. The tail is in the left. And the scores are congregated, nagkumpul-kumpul doon sa kanan. Marami nakakuha na skewed, it's the complete opposite. Congregated to the left siya, pero ang kanyang skewness, skewed to the right. Ulitin ko, congregated left siya, but the scores are but the skewness is to the right. So again, akin pong i-drill para mas malinaw. Kapag tinanong ng board exam, the scores are congregated to the left, positive or negative? That's positive. Very good. Kapag naman po ang scores are congregated to the right, the scores are in the negatively skewed. What about if the skewness is in the left? Negatively skewed pa rin yan. What about skewness is in the right? That's negatively skewed. Again, congregated to the right, negatively skewed. Kapag naman po skewed to the right, that's positively skewed. Huwag kang malito dyan. Okay? So, nakuha nyo na yon. So, ang negatively skewed pala, skewed to the left siya, pero congregated to the right. Kapag naman po positively skewed siya, skewed to the right, pero congregated to the left yung scores niya. That's positively skewed. Malinaw na yun ha. I-drill nga natin. Okay? I hope i-review nyo lang po ito ha, so that it will be very clear sa inyo. Okay? Now, i-drill natin. Kapag sinasabi, yung kurtosis at skewness, paghaluin natin, pag sinasabi ko pong homogeneous, that's lepto. Pag sinasabi ko pong heterogeneous, that's platy. Very good. What about bell shape? Mesocortic. Very good. Now, let's go to skewness. Kapag po skewed to the right, positively skewed. Kapag po skewed to the left, negatively skewed. Kapag naman po congregated to the left, that is what? Positively skewed pa rin. Congregated to the left ang scores, that is positively skewed. What about congregated to the right? Ang scores, that is negatively skewed. What about skewed to the right? That is positively skewed. What about congregated to the right ang scores? That's negatively skewed. What about skewed to the right? That is positively skewed. Malinaw? Yes. Kapag hindi pa malinaw, review mo lang to. Tapos isulat mo. Okay? Let's go. Sir Melvin, I would like to take the opportunity na mag-thank you sa inyo sa lahat ng drills. Nagbibigay tulong sa akin upang magiging LPT. Cristia May Ligaspe. Congratulations, ma'am. Malinaw na yon. Yes. Now, i-drill nga natin simula sa measures of central tendency, measures of variability, sa kurtosis, and then sa skewness. Tingnan natin kung makakasabay ka. Kapag ako ay nagtatanong, sumugot ka lang dyan. Okay? Measures of central tendency tayo. What is the arithmetic average? The mean. Which is most reliable when there are big scores? Median. What is done through inspection? Mode. Which is most reliable? Mean. Which is best to use when there are outliers? Median. Okay? Let's go to measures of dispersion or variability. Kapag mas mababa ang standard deviation, mas magaling, mas mahina? Mas magaling. Okay? Mas maganda. Ano ang ibig sabihin ng zero deviation? Very good. The scores are the same. What about for how to get the range? High score minus low score, or pwede rin i-vice versa mo na, positive naman yan. Okay? What about for the most crude measure of variability? Most crude. Very good. That's still range. Tandaan nyo yan. Again, range ang sagot dyan. Most crude, the simplest range. Okay? Kapag naman po ang board exam naghahanap ng variance, ang sagot mo agad dyan, 226. Again, kapag 206. Kapag naghahanap ng variance ang board exam, ang sagot mo agad dyan, 206. Next. Malinaw yun? Yes. Sabihin naman natin, cortuses. Which is the bell shape? The mesocortic. Which is the normal curve? The mesocortic. What about for the homogeneous? That's the leptocortic. What about for the heterogeneous? That's the platycertic. What about for the scattered? Platycertic. What about for the bunched together? That's leptocortic. What about for may nakakuha ng maliit na high, mayroon din konting low, pero most of the scores are average, normal curve or mesocortic. Punta tayo sa skewness. Kapag po skewed to the left, negatively skewed. Kapag naman po congregated to the left, that's positively skewed. What about congregated to the right? That is negatively skewed. What about skewed to the left? That is negatively skewed. What about congregated to the left? That is positively skewed. Hindi ka na na-trick? Ayos ba tayo dyan? Yes. Baka may magre-reklamo na naman sa I have verified that, ha? So, kailangan mo lang po makinig and you believe. Okay? So, that's it. And then, the diagram, tingnan mo na lang, kapag left ang skewness niya, ibig sabihin, mas mataas ang scores. Tingnan mo, si median, mas mataas kay mean. Si mode, mas mataas kay mean. Bakit? Di ba sinabi ko, kapag mode, ibig sabihin, mostly appearing, marami po ang nakakuha ng matataas na score above the mean. Okay? Dito naman po sa kaliwang bahagi is the right skewness or the positively skewed. Ano ba ibig sabihin dito? The scores are congregated what? At the left of the mean. Kaya sinabi kong congregated at the left. Ibig sabihin, the scores are congregated at the left. Ibig sabihin, ang scores po ay below the mean. Poor scores. Mahirap ang test. Bobo ang teacher. Hindi matatalino ang mga estudyante. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng positive skewed. Okay? Skewness. Malinaw yon. Yes, very good. Ang opposite naman, madali ba yung test? Matalino ba si teacher? Or sadyang magaling lang magturo si teacher? That is negatively skewed. Bakit? Yung mean niya, nandito. Pero yung kanyang mode at median, mas mataas pa kaysa mean. Ibig sabihin, that's negatively skewed. The scores are congregated to the right. Di ba? Kapag naman po positively skewed, tingnan mo teacher, ang scores ay congregated to the left. So saan yung skewness na? Dito, so skewed to the right, ang positively skewed, pero ang scores congregated to the left. Ayos. Malinaw? Yes, very good. Next. Naglamok How to compute quarterly grade in MAPE? Di ba? Isang item pa lang, na-discuss na natin siya ng napakaraming beses. Di ba? Kung ikaw mag-aaral dyan, malilito ka, ba't ganito to? So yun ha, kailangan mo lang pong i-review ito. Next, how to compute quarterly grade in MAPE? A, adding the 4 components. B, arts has high percentage. C, get the average. D, it is determined by 2 semesters. Ano sagot niyo? How to compute quarterly grade in MAPE. Diba? Maraming components yan. Music, arts, physical education, and health. How to compute the final grade. Okay, very good. Ano ba ang letter D dyan? That's how to compute the grades of the senior high school. Okay? You determine the final grade by the 2 semesters, no? So again, how to compute the grade of the senior high school using the 2 semesters to get the final grade. Pero sa MAPE, you just have to get the average. Ibig sabihin, you have to get the mean. That's the final grade for MAPE. That's letter C. Very good. Sumasagot sila. Oy, bakit letter D yung sagot mo, sir? No. Letter C. Isipin niyo po mabuti yung mga sagot ninyo. Ang mga tanong na to ay napaka simple lang po. Hindi pwedeng magkamali ka sa mga ganitong tanong dahil alkansi ka na, behind ka na sa mga tanong na mahihirap. So, ibig sabihin yung madali, hindi mo nasagot, paano na lang kaya yung mahirap? So, yung mga madadaling tanong, sagutin natin agad. Okay? Next. So, what's the correct answer? Letter C, get the average. Again, ano yung how to determine the grade of senior high schools? It is being determined by the 2 semesters to get the final grade. Pero ang sagot dito, letter C, get the average. Very good. Di makita ng buo ang slide. Wait for a while. Okay, sorry. For a while, ha? Okay. I think that is better. Next item. How do you encourage shy learners to participate in class? Again, may mga mahihiyain pong bata sa loob ng classroom mo. How do you encourage them? A. Nasa na yun? Wala. A. Scold them often. Oh my goodness. Tanong sa board exam. Which shows a friendly classroom or conducive to learning classroom? Ang sagot dyan, no scolding. Okay? Next. Okay. Next. Make them leaders in group activities. Letter C. Call the attention of their parents. Tawagin mo daw yung mama at papa niya. And then letter D. That's do personal confess. Which? Again, ano yung tinatanong dyan? It speaks about shy learners. How are you going to make them participate in class? This is a very tricky question. Alam kong may magkakamali rito. Ayun, meron ng isa nagkamali. Okay? How do you encourage? May mga mahiyaing bata. Very good, no? At least magagaling nang sumagot ang iba. Uy, meron pa ring sumagot ng call the attention of their parents. No, hindi mo kailangan tawagin ang parents dyan. Kaya na po ni teacher yan, no? Huwag mong istorbohin ang mga parents kasi po may trabaho sila. Ano na lang po yung trabaho mo, teacher? How? Sige, bigyan mo siya ng leadership roles. Let's letter B, no? Di ba? Mahiyain yan, pero kapag bibigyan mo yan ng responsibilidad, abay, kikilos din yan. Which shows a conducive for learning classroom. That is a classroom that does not scold students. So again, no scolding, siya ay conducive for learning classroom. Pero ang tanong dito, ang mga mahiyaing bata, how do you make them participate? You are just going to employ leadership roles. That's letter B. Very good. A round of applause. Tama. Tama, Ma'am Ronila. Mas lalong mahihiya pag tatakutin mo. Tawagin ko yung nanay mo. Ayan. Lalo na kapag pagagalitan mo pa. Next. What does education for all imply? What does education for all imply? A. Exclusive education. B. Inclusive education. C. Focus to formal education. Letter D. Focus on the alternative learning system. Question number 4. What is the correct answer? So, what is education for all? Hmm. Yes po, no scolding ang conducive for learning. Oy, ang galing nilang sagot, no? Yun lang ang pwedeng pumasok sa classroom na to. Ay, discriminatory naman yun, di ba? So, bawal yung exclusivity ngayon. Bakit? The 21st century learners, no? We are practicing inclusiveness. We are practicing education for all. Okay? Bakit? Kapag focus to formal education lang, ibig sabihin yung informal education, which is the alternative learning system, pababayaan na lang ba natin? Hindi po pwede, di ba? So the correct answer here is very good. That's inclusive education. That is education for all. Ang galing ninyo ah. Next item. What kind of support is best for teachers? Oh, isipin mo yung sa pinaka the best na suporta na pwede nating matanggap. A. Financial assistance. B. Responsive policies. C. Require teachers to submit lots of paperworks. D. Require them nothing. Which do you think? This is a difficult question to answer. Sige nga, tingnan natin. Okay, sige. What do you think is the correct answer for this one? Ay, pag sure mo ha. Be sure about your answers. Why are you not answering letter A? Hindi nyo ba kailangan ng pera? ah, ah, is our salary not important? Ay, sumagot agad sila ng A. Ay, sige, tingnan natin. Practical talaga tong iba na to. Mga teacher dito, iba practical. Tingnan natin kung tama ba yung mga sinagot ninyo. Which kind of support is best for teachers? Okay. So, ganito yan. Letter C is obviously nakakapagod yan, exhausting. Letter D naman po, hindi naman pwede na hindi tayo mag-submit ng ating Form 1, Form 2, Form 5, Form 9, Form 10. Dahil meron tayong registry, meron tayong attendance, meron tayong Form 137, meron tayong Form 138, di ba? So, hindi po pwede na wala tayong isubmit. So, letter D and letter C are obviously not correct answers. Let's go to letter A or letter B. Okay, very good. It looks for the best. So, pagsagot ng board exam teachers, isipin mo na lang na isa kang mabait na guro, isa kang ulirang guro na hindi mo hinahangad yung mataas na salary or hindi ka after sa pera. That is a very good teacher. And you have to do so when you take the board examination. Lagi mong iisipin, ako ay mabait na teacher. Hindi ako after sa salary. Dapat ako ay isang ulirang guro. Kahit sa board exam lang, no? Maging mabuting guro tayo. That is responsive policies. Okay? Mga pulisiya na agad tinututukan yung mga pangangailangan ng guro, that is very, very commendable. That is letter B. Malinaw yan, teachers? Yes. So again, kapag sumasagot sa board exam, isa kang mabait na teacher. Malinaw? Very good. So the correct answer is letter B. Baboy. Next. Zero standard deviation means, sinabi ko na to kanina, kapag nakinig ka, you tell me the correct answer. Again, tinatanong sa board exam, zero standard deviation means, ano yung sagot? Sige nga, I want you to type your answers dahil sinabi ko na to kanina. Okay, may nagsabi near score daw. Did I say it? Okay, may nagsabing scores are the same. Very good, Ma'am Maria. Very good, Ma'am Donita. Okay, ayun. May mga, okay. The same, equal. Okay, oy. Now, ano ang tawag sa ginawa ninyo? Sa quote method, ano yung ginawa ninyo? Is it comprehension? Is it add one out? Is it anticipation? Or is it the best clue is on the stem? Obviously, it's anticipation. Now, the next step is tingnan natin yung in-anticipate ninyo kung nasa choices ba siya. Tingnan nga natin. A, scores are dispersed. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng dispersed? Kalat. So kapag kalat, ano ang kurtosis dyan? That's platycortic. Plat, kalat, heterogeneous, far from each other. Diba? Now, letter B. Scores are the same. Yay! Nandun yung in-anticipate ninyong correct answer. So maghahanap ka pa ba ng iba? Huwag na, maging kontento ka na. That is letter B. Oh, what is letter C about? Scores are bunched together. Ibig sabihin, ang scores magkakalapit sa isa't isa. So maybe, hindi 0 ang standard deviation. Maybe ang standard deviation ay 1, maybe ang standard deviation ay 0.60, maybe ang standard deviation ay 1.2. Ibig sabihin po, ang standard deviation ay hindi 0. Okay? Magkakalapit ang scores. Next, scores are normal. Ay, hindi naman po ganyan. That's the thing about anticipation. Kailangan mo lang magkaroon ng educated guess. So that is for letter B. Scores are the same. Malinaw ba yon? Yes. Kaya mo ba? Sige nga. Tingnan natin kung nakalimutan mo na yung ating na-drill kanina at na-explain. Ipapadrill ko ngayon ang lahat ng aking napaliwanag. Handa ka na ba? Again, sinusubukan ko lang po na maging mabagal. Pero kapag ginawa ko na po ang ultimate drills, abay, magugulat ka na ang bilis pala nito. So now, I will do drills from the beginning and then you try to answer kung ano lang yung alam mo, kung ano lang yung kaya mong isagot. Again, kapag nagtatanong si Sir Melvin, sumagot ka lang dyan. It will really and it will definitely help you retain the information. Ayos ba tayo dyan? Yes. So now, let's try to do it. Measures of central tendency tayo. It is the arithmetic average. Mean. Which is most reliable? Mean. What is the middlemost score? Median. What is the most reliable when there are outliers? Median. What is done through inspection? Mode. Which is frequently appearing. Mode. Which is the middlemost score? Very good. What is the most reliable? Mean. Let's go to measures of variability. Kapag mas mababa ang standard deviation, magaling hindi. Magaling. What do you mean by zero standard deviation? Scores are the same. Punta tayo sa kurtosis. Kapag naman po homogeneous, that's leptocortic. Kapag naman po heterogeneous, that's platycortic. Kapag naman po scattered, that's platycortic. Kapag naman po bunched together, that is what? Bunch together, that is leptocortic. Kapag naman po konti lang yung mababa, konti lang yung matataas, kadalasan normal, kadalasan average, mesocortic. Punta tayo sa skewness. Kapag po ang scores are congregated to the right. Ha? Negatively skewed. Kapag naman po ang scores are congregated to the left. Again, that's positively skewed. Kapag naman po ang mean ay below the ang mean ay below the mode. That's negatively skewed. Ibig sabihin, mas mataas yung mode sa mean. Ano naman po kapag ang scores ay congregated to the right? Negatively skewed. Kapag naman po bobo si teacher, positively skewed. Kapag naman po matalino ang bata, negatively skewed. Kapag naman po the children are perform better, negatively skewed. Poor performance, positively skewed. Skewed to the left. Negatively skewed. What about skewed to the right? That's skewed to the right. That's positively skewed. What about congregated to the right? That's, again, congregated to the right. That's negatively skewed. Matalino si teacher. Negatively skewed. Bobo si teacher. Positively skewed. Matataas ang scores. Negatively skewed. Mabababa ang scores. Positively skewed. Poor performance. Positively skewed. Poor performance. Positively skewed. High performing. Good performance. Negatively skewed. Malinaw ba yon? Yes. Okay. I hope malinaw yan. Which promotes conducive for learning classroom? No scolding. Very good. Again, conducive for learning classroom. No scolding. How do you encourage shy learners? Give them leadership roles. Again, shy learners, give them leadership roles. Malinaw ba yun? Yes. Nakakasabay ka ba? Very good. Palakpakan mo ang sarili mo. Ibig sabihin, at least, no, meron ng entry of knowledge. Sanayin mo lang yung sarili mo na i-drill ang mga bagay na na-discuss natin. Yay! Next item. Kunin, ayan, may tanong. Kunin claims that with-itness is one of the characteristics of an effective classroom manager. What is one sign of with-itness? Again, Jacob Kunin, ano ba ibig sabihin dyan? Yung teacher's movement inside the classroom. Anong sinasabi dyan? Ang with-itness daw ay isa sa mga karakteristik ng isang epektibong guro. Now, ano dyan sa mga sitwasyon sa ibaba ang nagpapakita na merong with-itness or mata sa kanyang likod sang ulo, no? Yung with-itness. Letter A, give attention to students who are having difficulty with work. B, seeing only one person of the class but intensively. Uy, may favoritism si teacher. Letter C, knowing where instructional materials are kept. Ibig sabihin, alam mo kung saan inilagay yung mga bagay-bagay sa loob ng classroom. D, aware of what's happening in all parts of your classroom. Very good, no? Now, pag-usapan natin teachers' movements, no, inside the classroom by Jacob Kunin. Okay? So, magtanong ako, sasagot ka. That's what you call stimulus-bounded. Ano yan? Stimulus, ano ang tawag dyan? Truncation. Again, ano ang tawag dyan? Truncation. What about si teacher? Iniwan ang topic, pero after 2 minutes, bumalik. Iniwan na naman yung topic, bumalik na naman. Anong tawag dyan? Flip-flop. Flip. Pero kapag iniwan lang ni teacher ang activity, that's dangling. Again, iniwang dangling. So there are two kinds of dangling. That's the truncation and the flip-flop. Kapag ang tanong sa board exam, iniwan lang, anong sagot? Dangling. Pero kapag iniwan abruptly, anong sagot? Truncation. Kapag naman po, iniwan, bumalik, that's flip-flop. Mali na ba yun? Yes. Kapag naman po si teacher nagbibigay agad ng activity, hindi man lang nagbigay ng direction sa bata, hindi man lang nagbigay ng mechanics ng laro, ayan, ang mga bata ang gagawin. Ano ang tawag dyan? That's what you call, again, that's what you call thrust. Ibig sabihin, hindi handa ang bata, kaya gumamit ka ng thrust. kapag hindi ka handang magkabata, gumamit ka ng thrust. Ganun na lang yan. Okay? Hindi ready ang mga bata. That's what you call thrust. Ang overlapping naman po, teachers, ang overlapping, ibig sabihin, ang isang subject, no, si teacher, tumalon sa ibang discipline. That's what you call overlapping. Kapag naman po overdwelling, isang topic, halos isang quarter niya tinapos. That's what you call overdwelling. Okay? Kapag naman po escalating effect, ibig sabihin, si teacher pinapagalitan yung isang estudyante, pero lahat na po dinamay. That's what you call ripple effect. Kapag naman po ang impression ni teacher sa bata, ay, bubutong batang to, ay, malikot ang batang to, ang tawag dyan, halo effect. Again, ang tawag, halo effect. Okay? Kapag naman po si teacher may mata sa likuran, ang tawag dyan, with-itness. Again, ang tawag dyan, with-itness. Binagalan ko lang po yun, pero ngayon, bibilisan ko na. Sumagot ka lang dyan. Ayos ba tayo dyan? Yes. Again, pag sinasabi kong likod sa mata ng ulo, mata sa likod ng ulo, with-itness. Kapag naman po iniwan tapos bumalik, flip-flop. Kapag naman po nag-leave ng activity abruptly, truncation. Pero kapag nag-leave siya ng activity, dangling. Again, nag-leave siya ng activity, dangling. Wait, hindi handa ang bata dahil walang instruction, thrust. Kapag hindi handang magkabata, gumamit ng thrust. Kapag naman po dumaan si crush, na-distract si teacher, ay, ang tawag dyan, that's what you call stimulus bounded. What about si teacher? Tumalon-talon sa iba't ibang subject. That's overlapping. Kapag naman po si teacher, isang topic lang ang natapos sa buong quarter. Ang tawag naman po dyan, overdwelling. Okay? Nalinaw ba yun? Nakakasabay ka ba dyan? Yes. Next item. Much on school beautification that distracts learners learning illustrates, again, much on school beautification that distracts learners learning illustrates yung mga napakaraming banderita sa loob ng school campus, di ba? Yung school beautification, kapag nasubrahan yan, that can distract students learning. Now, what does that illustrate? A. Filipinos' lack of discipline. B. Filipinos' deep sense of creativity. C. Filipinos' love of forma. Letter D. Filipinos' sense of humor. Tingnan natin yung mga sagot niyo dito. Oh, you mark your answer number 13. What's your answer? Number 13, what's your answer? Tingnan natin. That is something that only critical thinkers can answer. So kung masagot mo yan, ibig sabihin critical thinker ka. Again, much on school beautification that distracts learners learning illustrates yun. Ang bata na ano na siya, no? Na nabagabag na siya. Again, na-distract na ang learning ng bata dahil puro na lang beautification ang inaatupag. Very good. Now, question sa board exam. Ano ang tawag sa mga bata na ang ganda mag-submit ng project, yung folder napaka-linis, napakaganda ng designs, pero yung content niya wala naman. That's what you call forma over substance. Ibig sabihin, ang learner dyan is novice or expert. That's for novice learner. Ibig sabihin, ang expert po more on the substance siya, more on the content siya. Okay? So now, look at the question here. Tayong mga Pilipino, ang hilig natin sa pagpapaganda, no? Yung pagkikilay, yung pag-lipstick. Okay? Hindi naman mali yan. Okay naman yan kung ang utak may laman. Ang utak po, mas naunang nilipstikan, mas naunang beautify. That's what you call what? Filipinos are so fond of forma over substance. Okay? 'Di ba yung mga babae, yung mga gwapo lang tinitingnan, no? Pero yung mga matatalino, sila yung mga walang jowa. Bakit ganon? Because Filipinos are so fond of, 'di ba? Sabi nga ng iba, sa Pilipinas dapat maganda ka lang. Magiging artista ka na. 'Di ba? Maganda ka lang, dapat maganda ka lang. Magiging artista ka na. Because we are so fond of forma over substance. Tingnan mo, PBB. Magaganda, karamihan. O tingnan mo, ginawang Majoha ang Gumbursa. Ginawang J. Rizal si Pepe. Ginawang Intramuros si Baguio. O ginawang Cory Aquino si Melchora Aquino. Dahil nga, we are so fond of forma and the substance is hagbong. Okay? So, that is letter C. The correct answer for this question is letter C. How does a novice learner process information? Tanong sa board exam. How does a novice learner process information? Novice. The novice learner process all information. Okay? And then the expert learner, tinatanong din sa board exam, how do they process information? They process important information. Again, the novice learner only process what? Informations, all of them. Okay? Kapag naman po expert, importante lang. So now, pwede mo nang i-categorize kasi yung iba naghahanda sa board exam, lahat inaaral. Ang nangyayari, Lahat binasa, lahat inaral dahil baka lalabas. Ang nangyari, nakalimutan sa board examination. Bakit? Lahat ng informasyon, kaya mong alalahanin? No, it's not possible, no? So again, important information lang. At yung importante na yun, siya yung pagtuunan mo ng pansin sa pag-aaral mo. Malinaw? Yeah. So the correct answer here is letter C. Novice learners process all information, and then expert learners process important information. Now, you choose. Saan ka dyan? Next. Which is the correct order of phases of curriculum development? Again, tinatanong, ano daw ang correct order ng iba't ibang phase ng ating curriculum development? One, designing. Two, implementing. Three, evaluation. Four, planning. Is it 1, 2, 3, and 4? B, 1, 4, 2, and 3. C, 4, 1, 2, and 3. D, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You now choose which is the correct answer. I will give you, okay, tandaan nyo, sa board examination, you only have 50 seconds every item. So, isipin nyo, 50 seconds. So, at exactly 8:30, I will show you the correct answer. I will try to check. May sumagot ng C, may sumagot ng B, may sumagot ng C, may sumagot ng B. Okay. Sige nga. Tingnan natin. Sige, let's try to see. Again po, para po sa mga gustong mag-attend ng final drills, i-message nyo lang po ako sa Melvin Osabel Borracho page. Okay? Yan po. Thank you. Kasi ang dami pong nag-i-inquire sa comment. Okay. Wala. Wala pong nagre-response. Of course, nagla-live pa ako. Paano ako magre-respond? So, and then, ang dami pang messages. Actually, hindi ko pa nabasa lahat ng message ng mga pumasa sa board exam. So, please bear with me. Mababasa ko rin yung mga mensahe ninyo. I will show you. Again, simula pa po nung Biyernes, ako ay nagbabasa na ng mga messages ng mga pumasa sa board exam. Now, tingnan nyo, class. I hope makita nyo. Okay, tingnan nyo. Kita ba? Ayan. Tingnan nyo. Hindi na siya. Oh, ayan. Lahat yan, hindi ko pa nabasa. Oh. Sipin mo na lang. Tsadan. Oh. Sila yan. Lahat pumasa yan. Oh. Pero, simula pa nung Friday, ako ay nagre-reply na. Pero sadyang napakarami. Praise God. Tingnan mo. Lakadiha. Oh my goodness. So kapag nagre-reply na ako sa iyo, ibig sabihin, it's your time. And kapag dami mo pang sinasabi, wala na, hindi na ako makapag-reply ulit. So ayan. O, tingnan mo na lang yan, teacher. Oh my goodness. Di ba? Oo. Paano na lang yan, di ba? So, paano ko yan? Re-reply yan. So, again, kapag nag-reply na ako, ibig sabihin, ayos na yan, ha? Sige. Sige. Mm. Mm. Ayan, walang katapusan 'to. Hindi ko alam kung paano i-deal 'to lahat. Pero araw-araw, tumatapos ako ng mga 500 or nakaka-reply ako ng mga 500 people. Yung mga pumasa kasi sila nagpapasalamat. So I congratulated them. SOCMED manager. Ay, hindi naman ako nagpapasweldo. Hindi nakalibre lahat. Oh, okay. So now, let's go the correct answer. The correct answer for this one is which comes first? Designing or planning? Actually po, it's planning, no? Nauna po ang planning. For, and then sunod, you design, and sunod, i-implement mo, and then sunod, i-evaluate mo. Tinatanong sa board exam daw, how do you know the rate of achievement or improvement of a curriculum? Evaluating. Tandaan nyo yan ha. Kapag rate of improvement, evaluating. To judge, evaluating. To know if you meet your goals, evaluating. Tandaan nyo yan. That's how important evaluation. So now, the correct answer here is 4, 1, 2, and 3. That's letter C. Woohoo! The answer is letter C. Wow. Sino nakatama? Okay. Oh, no, di ba? Meron pa silang architecture, oh. Hindi ka maka-design kung wala kang plano. Actually po, curriculum, nauna yung planning, and then pangalawa yung designing, and then pangatlo yung implementing, and then pang-apat yung evaluation. Okay? So that's letter C po. That's letter C. And then kapag tinanong sa board exam, how do you know your rate of improvement? Anong gagawin mo? Evaluate. Again, evaluate. Now, pag-usapan nga natin yung types of the curriculum. Again, pag-usapan natin yung types of the curriculum. Kaya nyo ba? Kapag books, saan yan kabilang? Kapag books, supported curriculum. Kapag naman po, order from DepEd, that's recommended curriculum. Ano naman po yung tinuturo mo? Taught curriculum. Ano naman yung natutunan ng bata? That's the natutunan ng bata. That's the learned curriculum. Ano naman yung mga series of assessments ng teacher? That's the assessed curriculum. Ano naman yung buwan ng wika, yung values ni teacher, ano yun? Hidden curriculum. Again, ano yun? Hidden curriculum. Ano naman yung lesson plan mo? That's written curriculum. Ulitin natin. Kapag books, supported curriculum. Kapag galing CHED, galing DepEd, recommended curriculum. Kapag lesson plan, written curriculum. Kapag series of tests, assessed curriculum. Kapag naman po tinuturo mo, that's taught curriculum. Kapag naman po natutunan ng bata, that's learned curriculum. Kapag naman po values ni teacher, that's hidden curriculum. Everybody say SALT sa RHW. Go. SALT sa, wait for a while. I want to type, okay, SALT sa RHW. S for supported, A for assessed, L for learned, T for taught. The RHW, recommended, hidden, and written. Okay? Ulitin ko. SALT sa RHW. S for supported, A for assessed, L for learned, T for taught, and then RHW, recommended, H for hidden, and W for written. Ulitin natin ang drill. Kapag sinasabi kong books, support. Kapag sinasabi kong DepEd, CHED, that's recommended. Ano nga yung batas ng CHED? 7722. Ano naman yung batas ng DepEd? 9155. Very good. Ano naman yung lesson plan? Written curriculum. Ano naman yung tinuturo ni teacher? Taught curriculum. Ano naman yung series of assessments? Assessed curriculum. Ano naman yung books? Again, that's supported curriculum. Ano naman yung mga values na pinapakita ni teacher inside the classroom? That's the hidden curriculum. Malinaw! Yes, very good. Now, let's go to the patterns and designs of the curriculum. Patterns and designs of the curriculum. Pag sinasabi natin patterns and designs, we have there the problem-based, the child-centered based, and the subject-based or the discipline-based. Ano ang pagkakaiba ng tatlo? Kapag sinasabi nating life situations, that's what you call problem-based. Kapag sinasabi nating child-centered, that is child-centered based. Ano yung iba't ibang mga components ng child-centered curriculum? Yung maraming activities, di ba? Sa objective natin, sinasabi natin, through varied activities, the grade 6 students with at least 80% accuracy shall be able to. That is through varied activities, child-centered pa rin yan. Okay? The curriculum there is processed. Let's go to subject-centered, teacher-centered yan. Okay? Ibig sabihin, nandyan makikita si broad field, yung napakalawak, broad nga, di ba? Field, fused, di ba? Ano yung example ng fused curriculum, sir? Ibig sabihin dyan, si English, meron na siyang grammar, meron na siyang literature, meron na siyang com arts, meron na siyang subject-verb agreement, o lahat na lang, fused curriculum ang tawag dyan. Okay? So, malinaw ba yon? Again, what are the three patterns and designs? Subject, subject, child-centered, and problem-centered. Very good. Ayos ba tayo dyan? Yes. Next. Sasagot dyan, letter C. Anong nauna? Plan. Pangalawa, design. Pangatlo, implement. Pangapat, evaluate. Next. Which is not part of a democratic classroom. Which is not part of democratic classroom. What is democracy class? There is empowerment, diba? There is what you call freedom. There is free of choice. There is existentialism. There is progressivism. Mauna yung mga huna-unaon mo. There is referent power. Referent power. Next. A learner obey blindly. B. Learners understand the rules. Letter C. Learners has the opportunity to express. Letter D. Learners are free choosing. Sige nga, tingnan natin. Democratic classroom. Which is not part of it. Anong gagawin natin dito? Add one out. Again, ano yung sabi ko rito? Kapag may not, kapag may which is an example of, you use add one out method. Okay, add one out pala ha. Ibig sabihin, tanggalin yung hindi makakasali dyan. Learners obey blindly. Is that part of the democratic classroom? Agad, may agad may sagot agad. Letter D tayo, simula tayo sa letter D. Learners are free choosing. Democratic. Learners has the learn to express. Of course, that's democratic. Letter B. Understandable or understand the rules. That's still democratic. Now, letter A. Learners obey blindly. Blind obedience. That's what you call not part of democracy. Tingnan mo, add one out. Sinong naiiba dyan? Diba sa letter B, positive. Letter C, positive. Letter D, positive. Letter A, is it positive to obey blindly? No. Sabi nga ni Moral Development Theory by Kohlberg, if it's not just, do not follow. It's not just, question it. Ano yung just? Hindi fair ba? Kapag hindi fair ang batas, you question the law. Because that's what you call post-conventional moral development. So ano ba yung conventional dyan, sir? That's the law, follow it. Ano ba yung pre-conventional? Obey. Do not complain because you obey, you will be rewarded. If you disobey, you will be punished. So, punishment and obedience, pre-conventional. Ang conventional naman po, law and order. Good boy, good girl. Yun. Kapag naman po post-conventional, that is for social contract, that is for universal ethical principle. Ibig sabihin, hindi dahil batas yan, kailangan naming sundin yan. Minsan, kapag hindi po fair ang batas, pwede mo po siyang tanungin. Pero ang problema sa Pilipinas, sinasabi agad, kayong magrarally-rally dyan. Bakit? Batas yan, sundin nyo na lang. No, teacher. If you are in the moral development reasoning, you should know that it's something, no, that you should fight for also kapag hindi na po just, kapag hindi na po fair ang mga inimplement ng government. Why? In the first place, government is from the people, of the people, and by the people, no? Tandaan po natin 'yan. So, again, it is not wrong to express for as long as it is rational. Wag naman yung puro na lang negatibo. Okay, next. Sagot dyan, letter A. Wait, pag-usapan na lang natin yung mga power ni teacher. Napag-usapan na rin lang yung democratic. So, pag-usapan natin, ano ba yung mga power ni teacher inside the classroom? Kapag learners obey blindly, ano kaya ang posibleng power na laging inuulit-ulit ni teacher dyan sa loob ng kanyang classroom kapag learners obey blindly? Maybe, no, the learners obey blindly because the teacher is authoritarian. The teacher is coercive. Okay? Again, if the teacher is coercive, therefore, the students obey blindly. Kapag naman po referent or democratic, there is understanding, there is free of expression, and there is choosing their own thing, no? What about for legitimate power? Diba? Ito yung nagkakaproblema tayo minsan. Itong legitimate power, that means that you are the person in authority inside your classroom. Ang problema sa ibang mga nanay, dumiretso agad sa principal. Hindi man lang dumaan sa kay teacher para ma-reconcile kung ano yung problema. Tandaan mo, teacher, ikaw ay may legitimate power inside your classroom. Kahit principal, hindi pwedeng makialam sa'yo dahil ikaw yung may mas alam kung ano yung nangyari inside the classroom. Okay? So yung mga parent, hindi pwedeng dumiretso agad dahil may command, may ano tayo, di ba? May, ang tawag dyan, order of powers. So kailangan si teacher muna yung mauna na makaalam kung ano yung nangyari, 'di ba? Ang problema rin sa iba is dumiretso agad sa high officials. Pinapatulfo agad tayo. Okay? Hindi po pwede 'yan. Dapat si teacher ang mag-fix sa sarili niyang problema doon sa classroom because yung mga video hindi yan fully hindi siya nagpapakita ng full picture of what really has happened, no? Kailangan po si teacher ang mag-fix sa problema sa loob ng classroom. Hindi po pwedeng sa labas dahil wala silang alam. Ang alam lang nila kung ano yung nakita nila, di ba? So, again, teachers, you are the person in authority. You have the legitimate power inside your classroom. Ibig sabihin, ikaw yung may control sa loob ng classroom because you are the what you call loco parentes. Again, anong tawag sa'yo? Loco parentes. Ikaw ang pangalawang magulang ng mga bata sa loob ng classroom. Iniwan yan ng kanyang mga magulang para ikaw ang magiging magulang dyan sa loob ng classroom. Kaya wag nilang pakakailaman, di ba? Maliban na lang kung si teacher mismo ang involved. That's another case. Pero kung estudyante or si estudyante, may reklamo siya, kung hindi naman severe, kaya naman mapag-usapan, well, that should be discussed still inside, no? Through personal conference because you have the legitimate power. Okay? Now, another. Etong reward power, ito yung lagi natin ginagamit, of course. Ano ba yun? For those who can answer, I will give you 10 points. For those who can answer, I will give you additional points. Yun yung reward power natin. Okay? So, expert power naman po, of course, content, the knowledge, and the pedagogy, di ba? The content, the knowledge, and yung puso mo sa pagtuturo, that is for the expert teacher or expert power. Now, pag-usapan natin, kapag alam mo ang sinasabi mo, ano ang tawag dyan? Expert power, okay? Master of what you're talking about. Kapag naman po, class, can you agree among yourselves of the rules that we are to follow inside the classroom? That's what you call referent power or democratic power. Kapag naman po you follow and do not question, that's what you call, o anong tawag dyan? Coercive power. I am the person in authority. I should know what's happening inside my classroom. That's legitimate power. Plus 10, plus 20. That's reward power. I know what I'm talking about. Expert. I am the person in authority. Legitimate power. What about for, I know what I'm talking about. Expert. What about for class? Can we agree on this? Referent power. You follow. That's, again, you follow. That's coercive power. I will give you plus points. That's reward power. Those are the powers of the teacher inside the four walls of the classroom. Next. How is the rate of achievement of curriculum be determined? Sinabi ko na to kanina, kapag nagkakamali ka, gusto kong saktan mo ang sarili mo dahil hindi ka nakinig sa akin. Again, sinabi ko na ang sagot kanina. I want you to answer this correctly. This is one of the easy questions sa board exam. Dapat masagot mo. Again, how to rate achievement of curriculum. How to rate? How do you know that you are improving? Sige. Is it by designing? Is it by implementing? Is it by planning? Is it by evaluation? Sige, tingnan ko lang. Kapag may nagkakamali, gusto ko talaga saktan mo sarili mo. Sige. Because sinabi ko na to kanina. Okay. So far, wala pa nagkakamali. Very good. That's letter C. Okay? So, pag-usapan natin itong mga terminologies na laging ginagamit sa board exam. Kapag tinanong sa board exam, what is the foundation of all knowledge? Sagot mo, what is the foundation of all learning? Sagot mo, knowledge. Again, ulitin ko. What is the foundation of all learning? Knowledge. What is the evidence of learning? Change of behavior. Again, what is the evidence of learning? Change of behavior. It is the real life application, real life transfer of knowledge. That's application. Again, the real life transfer of knowledge. That's the application. It is the breaking down of ideas. The breaking down of ideas. That's analysis. What about for the building up of ideas? That's what you call synthesis, otherwise called as inferencing. What about for judging? That's what you call evaluation. Again, paspasan. Ulitin natin, bilisan natin. Kapag sinasabi kong real life transfer of knowledge, that's application. What about for comprehension? Understanding. What about for the foundation of all learning? Knowledge. What about for the evidence for learning? That's change of behavior. What about to judge? Evaluation. What about breaking down of ideas? That's analysis. What about building up of ideas? That's synthesizing or inferencing, which has a diverse idea. Convergent or divergent? Very good. Divergent. Ano yung convergent? One idea lang yan. Okay? Which is specific to general. That's inductive. Which is general to specific. That is deductive. Malinaw ba yun, teacher? Yes. Again, how do you know the rate of achievement of a curriculum? By evaluation. What is the correct process or order of the phases of curriculum development? That's letter P, planning, letter D, designing, letter I, implementation, and the letter E, evaluation. Tandaan nyo po yan. Huwag nyo kakalimutan. Kung hindi, babagsak tayo dyan. Tama ba? Again po, huwag kang ma-surprise later. Ipapadrill ko mula simula hanggang dito. That's what I do here. Diba? Kaya maraming pumapasa dahil kaya ko pong maalala lahat ng aking mga pinapadrill dito sa inyo. From the top until here. Kaya maraming pumapasa. That's the difference in the things that I do. Okay? Kaya ko pong ipadrill lahat ng aking mga na-discuss. Ayos pa tayo dyan? Yes. Next. Section 5, Article 14 of the Constitution states that blank academic freedom. Oh, ano na naman ang pinag-uusapan? 1980, Section 5 of the Article 14, it says there, what? It shall have academic freedom. Which is which? Oh, ano ang pwede natin gamitin dito? Anticipation or add one out? Anticipation. Very good. Okay, tingnan natin. Ano yung in-anticipate niyo? I hope that you will be able to guess it. O, sabi ng iba, tertiary. O sige. Ched, sana makapasa. Sige, magbigay tertiary. Sige, tertiary. Ano yung mga anticipated correct answer ninyo? Sige nga, tingnan natin kung ano yung mga anticipated correct answers. Kanina, hindi ko pa natapos yan. Sige, ano yung mga anticipated correct answers? Mag-type lang po kayo dyan. I-scroll ko muna kung gaano ba karami tong mga nag-message sa akin na hindi ko pa nababasa. Tapusin ko lang. Ha? So, para maintindihan nyo na hindi ako agad nakakapag-reply or kapag nakapag-reply ako, hindi na ako agad makapag-reply ulit. Tingnan nyo. Diba? Nag-stop tayo kanina doon, tapos i-continue natin. Hello. Puro message yan of giving thanks. Thank you, sir. Pumasa ako. Thank you, sir. Take one lang ako. Thank you, sir. Napumasa na ako for how many takes. Yan sila. So, okay. Pabang, babang, papap. Dadan. Choo-choo. Dadan. Choo-choo. Dan tadadan choo-choo. Dan tadadan choo-choo. Dan tadadan choo-choo. Ayan sila. My goodness. Ay. Pasensya na po talaga kapag nanonood ka tapos hindi ko pa nabasa yung mensahe mo. Just bear with me. Mababasa ko rin po yan. At makongratulate rin kita. Hindi matatapos ang buwan na to. Okay? So, yun sila. Ayan. So, naghang na ang cellphone. Oh. Yan. Tapos yung cellphone ko, Oppo lang siya. So, hindi siya masyadong mabilis. So, kailangan ko pong maging pasensyoso rin. Minsan naghahang, I will restart. Tapos yung laptop ko naghahang, I will restart na naman. Yun yung mga struggle ko kapag nagla-live ako. No? Kasi nga po, kulang pa yung ipon natin to buy a new laptop para mabilis na po ang aking pag-discuss. No? Hindi na po ako nagre-restart. Alam nyo, kapag nag-start akong mag-live ng alas 7, alas 6 pa lang, naghahanda na ako, nagdi-delete na ako ng lahat ng mga cache and cookies, nag-delete na ako ng all history of searching kasi nga po naglalag siya, hindi na po gumagalaw ang aking laptop. Yes, and konti na lang po yung kulang ng ipon ko. Through the help of this channel, makakabili na po ako ng bago and mas magiging epektibo yung pagtuturo ko po online. Okay? So, konting-konti na lang, we will be perfect in this cause na pagtulong sa mga walang-wala talaga. Okay, ang inyong mga guessing games ay college, universities, tertiary. Tingnan natin. Meron ba? Tingnan natin. Meron ba? Letter A. State universities and colleges. Hala! Meron! Sige. Letter B. Private colleges. Meron din. May sinabi college. Letter C. All schools. Letter D. All HEIs. Meron ba dyan? Meron ba yung mga anticipated nyo? Ala, bakit yung anticipated correct answer ko nasa letter A, B, and C, and D? Oh my God. So you have to decide now. Is it for state universities and colleges? Is it for private colleges? Is it all school levels? Is it all higher education institutions? Sige, dito malalaman kung gaano kayo ka-well-versed sa ating 1987 Constitution Education sector or part. Okay, hala, dami nang sumagot, iba't iba yung sagot. Ito yung tanong na kapag ka lumabas sa board exam, okay, this will make a difference to those top-notchers. Kasi nga po, kapag hindi mo to alam, hindi mo talaga to alam. Sabihin mo, letter C yan kasi all schools, meron naman tayong academic freedom. No! Ang letter, ang basic education, wala silang academic freedom. Tandaan niyo po yan, ha? Walang academic freedom ang basic education. What is part of the basic education? Elementary, secondary, senior high school, alternative learning system. They are part of the basic education. Therefore, they don't have academic freedom. Okay? So is it A, state universities and colleges? B, private colleges? I think obvious na. Obvious na. Sige, pag-usapan natin ang choices. Letter A, SUCs, state universities and colleges. Ibig sabihin dyan, public universities and colleges. So what about the private colleges? Wala silang academic freedom? Letter B, private colleges. What about the public colleges and universities? Wala silang academic freedom? Meron. So ano yung sagot? Letter D, lahat ng higher educational institutions. Ulitin ko. All higher institutions of learning. Uulitin ko. All higher institutions of learning. Lahat ng colleges, private man yan o public man yan. Lahat ng state universities, lahat ng universities, naka-private man yan o public man yan. Ang sagot dyan, all higher institutions of learning. Higher institutions of learning. Letter D po ang sagot. Nakatama ka ba dyan? Were you able to get it correctly? Okay, marami pong hindi nagkatama ha. So again, kapag hindi ka nakatama dyan, I hope that you will get this correctly during the board examination. Again, ang may academic freedom po ay yung higher education institutions. Yung higher institutions of learning. Kasama ba dyan ang private colleges? Check. Kasama ba dyan ang state universities and colleges? Check. All schools? No. Yung basic education, wala silang academic freedom. Board exam question, which is compulsory? Basic education or elementary education? Compulsory. Article 14, Section 2. That's for elementary. In the Philippines, compulsory natin, elementary lang. Ang basic education, hindi siya compulsory. What is basic education, sir? That includes elementary, secondary, and senior high school. Also, ALS. Paano ba tinatanong sa board exam ang ALS? It is parallel to formal education. Again, it is tinatanong parallel to formal education, alternative learning system. Ang sagot dyan. So, teachers, that's all HEIs, all higher institutions of learning. Letter D. Next. Again, elementary is compulsory, not basic education. Because basic education includes the senior high school. Ay, napag-usapan na rin lang. Senior high schools. Kapag ang gusto mong pasukin is accountancy and business management, tapos nasa private school siya, ano ang ibibigay sa iyo ng gobyerno para makapag-aral ka dun? Teacher, again, gusto mong mag-aral ng accountancy and business management. Ang nag-offer is private school. Gusto mo talaga, pwede ba? Yes. Libre ba? Yes. Ano ang ibibigay ng gobyerno sa'yo? Voucher program. Again, ano yan? Voucher program. Tandaan niyo po yan dahil laging tinatanong din yan. Okay, kapag senior high school ka, tapos gusto mong mag-aral ng ABM or STEM, no? Tapos nasa private school, ano daw ang ibibigay sa iyo ng gobyerno? That is what you call what? Very good. That is voucher program. Next. If an item has a difficulty index of 0.56 and a discrimination index of -5, what will you do with the item? Wala, my God! Ano yan, sir? Ang alam namin, difficulty index lang. Ang alam namin, discrimination index yan. Bakit nagsama na yan? Let's try to answer this. Letter A, reject it. Letter B, revise it. Letter C, do nothing. Letter D, retain it. Tingnan natin, ang galing ninyo sa pagsasagot ng mga bagay-bagay na bago sa inyo. Sige nga. Hello to 890 people who are watching. Ayan. Sa mga LPT na dyan, congratulations. At sa mga bago pa lang po sa ating channel, subscribe. Click the notification bell button para updated ka agad kapag nag-live si Sir Melvin. Invite your friends. This is a blessing for you. Help them. Try to contact them. Try to make them realize na maraming pumapasa sa mga nag-aaral dito para po matulungan din sila. Do not solo the blessings. Okay? Dahil kahit saan ka po magpunta, makikita mo ang mga video na to, mapapag-aralan mo kahit anong oras, pwede mong ma-download, maliban na lang sa naka-private na videos, maaari mong ma-download, maaari mong mapanood kahit natutulog, naliligo, kahit naglalaba, kahit nagluluto, kahit anong ginagawa mo, nagde-date ka, nagpapadrill ako sa'yo, di ba? Magsiselos ang jowa mo, at least. Okay? So again, you can do anything with the videos I have here. Okay? You can do anything. You can download this all you want. Para naman po sa inyo ito. And I am not being paid. Technically, of course, no, may mga ads naman dyan. Pero that's centavos hanggang nag-compile yan. Marami kayong nanonood. Pero, again, technically, hindi po ako nagpapabayad sa aking ginagawa rito. Nanonood ka lang. Okay? Aanhin mo, mo pa ba naman yung manonood ka ng mga video for entertainment? Kung nagre-review ka lang naman, edi dito na lang, di ba? So, ayan. Nasa bahay ka lang naman. Instead na mag-TikTok ka, manood ka na lang ng videos. Okay? Matututo ka ba? Okay? Sige. So, you can invite your friends too. Okay? Kahit yung kaaway mo para magkabati na kayo. Ibig sabihin, nag-concern ka talaga sa kanya, di ba? Care ka sa kanya. Okay, let's go. Again, may ask, thumbs up. Ayan. Okay. Now, let's do the double item analysis. Ito yung mga tinatanong sa board. Ang alam lang natin dito, difficulty index, di ba? O, ito yung tinuro ni Sir Prince sa inyo. Difficulty index, no? Kapag dito, very difficult. Kapag dito difficult, kapag dito moderate, kapag dito easy, kapag dito very easy. Again, very difficult, very easy. Anong gagawin mo sa dalawa? Reject. Tapon mo yan. Okay? Ano naman po itong difficult at easy? Revise them. See, moderately difficult. Sino ang itapon? Kapag may very. Sino naman po ang revise? Kapag easy or difficult. Now, what is the distinction, sir? Anong number yon? Okay, eto yan. 0 to 0.2, very difficult. Sulat mo dyan. 0 to 0.2, very difficult. 0.21 to 0.4, 0.21 to 0.4, that is difficult. Difficult. 0.416, that is moderately difficult. Moderately difficult. For easy naman po, 0.61 to 0.8. Again, easy. 0.61 to 0.8. Kapag naman po 0.81 to 1, that is very easy. Again, ulitin ko. Sagot mo lang, revise, reject, retain. Okay? Again, sagot mo lang, revise, reject, retain. Again, kapag may very, reject. Kapag moderate, retain. Kapag naman po easy, that's revise. Kapag naman po difficult, that's revise pa rin. Okay. Sabihin mo sa akin kung nasa very difficult siya, moderate siya, easy siya, or very easy. Okay? 0.5. Moderately difficult. What about 0.21? That is difficult lang. 0.2. That is very good. Here, very difficult. What is 1? Very easy. What is 0.8? That is easy. 0.8. Easy. 0.81. Very easy. Okay? What do you do with the item kung very easy? Tapon. Reject. What about for 0.6? Very good. Moderate. What about for 0.41? Moderate pa rin. Very good. What about for 0.4? Difficult. Difficult. Anong gagawin mo? Revise. Again, kapag may very, reject. Kapag naman po easy, revise. Kapag naman po difficult, revise. Kapag naman po moderate, that's what you call retain. Punta tayo. Ayos na yon? Yes, very good. Ayos tayo. Punta tayo sa discrimination index. Discrimination index. Okay? Tatlo po ang discrimination index natin. Meron tayong 0, meron tayong negative, at meron tayong positive. Ulitin ko. Meron tayong 0, meron tayong positive, at meron din tayong negative. Now, ang gagawin sa item dyan, revise and, ang gagawin sa item dyan, reject or retain lang. Again, ulitin ko. Reject or retain lang. Meron bang revise sa discrimination index? No, walang revise yan. So now, kapag 0 or negative ang discrimination index, ang gagawin mo dyan, tapon mo. Reject it. Kapag naman po positive ang discrimination index, retain the item. Tinatanong sa board exam, more from the lower group got the correct answer. Is it, what are you going to do with the item? Are you going to reject it or are you going to retain it? Reject it. More from the lower group. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya maganda. Reject it. What about if more from the upper group got the correct answer? That's retain the item. Okay? Dahil matatalino yung nakasagot, ibig sabihin, ayos lang yan. Another, tinatanong sa board exam, binigyan ka ng negative 5 na discrimination index. Ano ang gagawin mo sa item? Negative 5. Negative! That's reject. What about binigyan ka ng discrimination index na 0? Anong gagawin mo sa item? 0. Reject pa rin. What about binigyan ka ng positive 1? That's positive. That's retain. Now, ang tanong, go to the question. If an item has difficulty index of 0.56 and a discrimination index of negative 5, what will you do with the item? Diba? So, here is the technique, teacher. Listen to me. Here is the technique. You look at first the discrimination index. Again, what to do? You look at first the discrimination index. What is the given? Negative 5. Tchadan! Here is the thing. Kapag ang discrimination index negative or 0, reject right away. Sir, titingnan ko pa ba ang difficulty index? No, not necessarily. Ulitin ko. Teacher, in double item analysis, look for the discrimination index first. Now, look at the choices. Look at the given. Ano ang discrimination index? Negative 5. Kapag negative ang discrimination index, reject the item right away. What about, sir, if 0, reject the item right away? Titingnan ko pa ba ang difficulty index? Not anymore. Sir, what about the discrimination index is positive? Diyan mo natitingnan yung difficulty index. Okay? Now, kapag binigyan ka ng board exam na, example lang, binigyan ka ng board exam na discrimination index of positive 5. That's the time that you are going to look at the difficulty index. Again, that's the time that you are going to look at the difficulty index. Ano yung difficulty index dyan? 0.56. Now, saan siya kabilang? 0.56. 0.41 to 0.6. Dito siya sa moderate. What are you going to do? Retain it. Dito siya eh. Kapag naman po 0.61, that is revise it. Kapag naman po 0.4, revise it. Kapag naman po very easy, reject it. So what's the thing here? You are going to first look the discrimination index. Kapag negative or 0, reject right away. Do not anymore look the difficulty index. What about, sir, if the discrimination index is positive? Then that's the time that you are going to look at the difficulty index. Look at the difficulty index. And then, decide. What do you do? Kung dito siya kabilang, moderate, i-retain mo. Kapag naman po, dito siya kabilang sa easy or difficult, i-revise mo. Kapag naman po, dito siya kabilang sa may very, itapon mo pa rin. Now, the question here, let's answer, no? Let's answer. Let's go! Negative, so reject it. Letter A ang sagot. Oh, very good. Yoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Very good. Nakatama na ba ang lahat? I hope that you can review this one. Again, review this one because these are very technical. Kapag po nagkamali ka ng rinig dito, ayan, ipapanabi mo na, ang tawag dyan? I-chismis mo naman sa iba na mali yung tinuro ni Sir Melvin eh. Sabi niya, ganito, hindi naman pala, mali ka lang pala ng pandinig, no? So again, review this video after the live kasi i-upload ko po ito. Panoorin mo ulit. And you will be amazed. Ganun pala. Hindi ko maintindihan kanina. So ngayon, naintindihan ko na. So that's letter A. Reject it. Pero kapag positive ang discrimination index, anong gagawin next? Look at the difficulty index. And then, decide. Okay? So, example, yung discrimination index dyan, positive 5. Ano ang gagawin mo? Difficulty index is 0.56. That's retain it. Kasi kapag positive, pero ang given dyan negative eh. So, reject it. Malinaw ba yun? Yes! Next item. Ayos na tayo dyan. Ayos ba? Yun, very good. Papasa na ba? Ay, pagod ka na magsalita eh. Papasa ka na ba? Ay, pagod pa rin eh. So, ibig sabihin, babagsak ka na. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo na makikita yung pangalan mo sa list of passers. Gusto mo ba yan? Hindi. So, kailangan mo bang pumasa? Yes, para sa nanay mo. Yes, sa maging energetic ka. Sabihin mo, yes. Papasa na ba? Yes. Kayang bang mag-top? Hindi pa. Mag-review muna tayo. Next. Next item. Ito na yung sinabi ko, di ba? Why? Next. Why is table of specifications important? Tinatanong sa board. Bakit mahalaga ang table of specifications? A, for face validity. B, for format validity. C, for reliability. D, for content validity. Tingnan natin yung mga sagot niyo. Okay. So, table of specifications naman tayo. Again, it asks for the importance of table of specification. So, this is a test of comprehension and this is also a test of what you know about TOS. Why do you have to make it? Tingnan natin. Grabe no, 2 oras akong nakakadaldal ng daldal dito. So, inom muna tayo ng tubig. Teachers, gusto ko lang po i-excuse yung sarili ko this Friday. Hindi ako makapag-live ngayong Friday ha. Dahil may lakad ako doon sa school na pinagtuturuan ko, pupunta ako at doon ako matutulog. So, wala ako dito sa bahay. Hindi ako makapag-live. I hope you can understand. Okay? Kaya po, hahabaan ko ito para ma-review nyo ng ma-review dahil this Friday, hindi ako makakapag-live dahil pupunta po ako, may lalakarin po ako. So, yes. Ayan, may natutunan naman po ba? Okay. Sige. So, why is TOS important? Of course, kapag hindi mo to alam, hindi mo talaga alam. Pero, you can apply, add one out. Sir? You can apply, add one out. What? Yes. Kayo kasi. Diba sabi ko, may naiiba sa choices. Tingnan mo si A, may word na validity. Tingnan mo si B, may word na validity. Tingnan mo si D, may word na validity. Sino lang ang walang word na validity? Si letter C. So yung sagot. Kapag wala kang naiintindihan, kapag hindi mo to naaral, pero kapag aaralin natin to, mas madali natin tong masagot. Okay? So teachers, the board exam, kapag merong tanong na hindi mo naaral, apply mo yung mga techniques. Pero kapag merong tanong na naaral mo naman, sagutin mo based on what you know. Based on what you know. Based on what you know. Malinaw? Yes, now let's go. So, I will answer this based on what I know. Nasagot na natin based on technique wise. Of course, walang validity si letter C. So, yung sagot. Pero, sagutin natin siya based dito. Okay? Dahil aaralin natin. Kapag sinasabi natin validity, ano ibig sabihin dyan? Measure what you intend to measure. Sukatin ang dapat sukatin. Alamin ang dapat alamin. Diba? Yun yung validity. Kay reliability naman, ano yan? Dapat there is proper distribution, there is accuracy, there is consistency. Kuha nyo? Consistency. So, how to be consistent? Now, question. Ang table of specification, makikita mo doon yung remembering, understanding, applying, creating, analyzing. Di ba? Bakit ba merong ganon? So that the items will be properly distributed. So that there is consistency with your questions. Bakit? How do you know that a test is reliable? When there are proper distribution of items. How do you increase reliability of test? By increasing the number of items. Again, tinatanong sa board exam, how do you increase reliability of test? Increase the number of items. I will contextualize. Sasabihin ko, gusto kong malaman kung si Arceli Pungase ay magaling sa Gen Ed. Nagtanong ako, I will make this country great again. Sino nagsabi? Sinagot ni Arceli, Marcos! Masasabi ko na bang reliable siya based lang sa isang sagot? Hindi pa. Bigyan ko pa ng isa. Those who have less in life should have more in law is a statement of. Sagot niya, makapagal. Mali! So, reliable ba siya? Hindi. Hindi siya reliable sa Gen Ed. Pero kapag nasagot niya, magsaysay. Very good. Pwede. Reliable na ba siya? Okay, maybe. Pero dagdagan pa natin. Who happens to be the first bachelor president? Sagot niya, Sir Melvin. Hindi siya reliable. Okay? The first bachelor president is Benigno III. Di ba? Pero nasagot pa rin niya. Reliable na ba siya? Pwede. Increase pa rin the number of items. That's about reliability. That's why TOS is very important because it will ensure reliability of test. Okay? Again, it will ensure reliability of test. Now, sige nga, i-test ko nga kayo kung magaling kayo sa Philippine presidents. Kayong nandito, i-test ko nga kung magaling kayo sa Philippine presidents. Sige, sumagot ka lang dyan. Father of the masses, Estrada, who is the first impeached government official. Ibig sabihin, natanggal siya by impeachment. Corona, hindi si Estrada. May nakatunggalian ako dyan eh. Sinabi niya, si Estrada sabi ng aming lecturer, sir. I think no, because Estrada resigned. Nag-resign po si Estrada, hindi siya tinanggal by impeachment. Of course, may impeachment case siya, pero hindi siya tinanggal. Okay? Who is the great dissenter? Claro M. Recto. Who is the father of local government code? Nene Pimentel. Who has the Laong-Laan pen name? Jose Rizal. Who is the father of justice, social justice? Manuel L. Quezon. Who is the shortest serving president? Sergio Osmeña. Who is the first Ilocano president? Quirino. Who is the first president from Ilocos Norte? Marcos. Man of the masses. Magsaysay. Incorruptible. Makapagal. Pilipino muna. Garcia. Pilipino muna. Garcia. Strong Republic. Arroyo. Bill. Duterte. The first Mindanaoan president. Duterte. Ina ng demokrasya. Cory Aquino. Ina ng demokrasya. Cory Aquino. Ama ng demokrasya. Andres Bonifacio, Filipinos are worth dying for. Ninoy, very good again, Filipinos are worth dying for. Ninoy, what about for Pilipinas 2000? Fidel V. Ramos, again, Fidel V. Ramos, Pilipinas 2000. What about for No Wangwang policy? That's Benigno Simeon Aquino the third. What about for transfer the independence from July 4 to June 12. That's Macapagal. Infrastructure man. That's Marcos. Infrastructure man. That's Marcos. Nasagot mo naman, hindi reliable ka sa Gen Ed. Pero kapag hindi mo nasagot, ibig sabihin hindi ka pa reliable sa Gen Ed. Okay? So, that's it. Nasagot mo ba? Very good, no? So, that's all about EOS. Reliability, that's letter C. Next. Which promotes student interaction in class? Which promotes student interaction in class? A. Knowledge-based questioning. B. Inferencing. C. Synthesizing. Letter D. Divergent questioning. Sabi ng isa rito, ang akong utok nahabilin. Ano lang yun? Oo. So, yun yung gagawin ko sa final drills. Ang bilis-bilis ko na doon. So, kailangan mo talagang i-master lahat kung gusto mong mag-join doon. Maiiwan ka talaga kapag hindi mo inaral lahat. Na. Sige. Which promotes student interaction in the classroom? Knowledge-based questioning. Sinong pumatay kay Lapu-Lapu? Meron ba? Yun. Inferencing. Based on the ideas being presented, what can you conclude? That is inferencing. Or what idea can you form? That is inferencing. Synthesizing, still the same, no? Based on the evidence presented, what can you infer? That's synthesizing still. Divergent questioning. Interaction, that's for divergent questioning, actually. No? Why did it happen? Because this and that. Why do you think? Do you think having a good health is important? Yes, because you can live long and you can enjoy life and you can still help others. What about you, dear? Do you think having a healthy body important? Teacher, if it means to, if being healthy means not eating delicious food, I'd rather not stay healthy. Una, ay mga inana nga mga bata, no? Nasa uban nga, teacher, do you think, so the question, divergent, that promotes interaction among classes. Do you agree with, ang tawag dito, do you agree with extrajudicial processes? Naiuban, yes, teacher, because we want justice right away. Others will say, no, no, teacher, no, we should undergo due process that respecting Philippine Bill of Rights, no, in the Constitution. So again, interaction, that's divergent. Ideas should come out. Synthesizing kasi, you're just making conclusion, you're just building up an idea, no? Knowledge base, you're just asking, recall items. Okay? So that's letter D. Letter D. Very good. Oy, noon samanta mga Bisaya. Oy, of course, hindi na halata. Hindi na ba halata na ako ay Bisaya? Kasi noong nagsisimula pa ako, ang I nagiging I, ang U nagiging U. Yung mga matitigas na dila, of course na. Pero hindi na ba halata? Okay na ba yung pagsasalita ko ng Filipino? Ayos na ba yung pagsasalita ko ng Filipino? Taga Cebu po ako, no? I am from Northern Cebu, in Middle yan, of course, no? Yeah. Sige. Dili na kuno gahi, bastas. Sweet Turo, thank you. Ayan, so hindi na matigas. Okay na, ay kahit na po hindi okay, importante po nakapagturo po ako. Libre po sa inyo. So depende na yan kung hindi kayo makikinig dahil Bisaya ako at hindi ako marunong mag-Filipino. Actually po, kaya ko naman magturo. Actually po, teacher po ako ng Filipino courses in Cebu Normal University. Yeah, I also teach pagtuturo ng panitikan, wikang Filipino. Kaya medyo hasa na tayo. Silingan day mong ginawang. Maybe, no? Katong volleyball player nga maayo kayo. Yes. Duol inyo sa bamboo forest, that's only one step away. Duol amo nga sa bamboo forest pero wa pa ko kalaag sa bamboo forest. Oo. Hindi kasi ako gumagala. Lagi ako nag-aaral. Yes, I'm only inside the house reading and I only go outside to breathe some minsan. Pero hindi ako nagpupunta sa mga lugar. Yes, I always study still. Nagbabasa pa rin po ako. Alangan naman, 'di ba? Nagtuturo ako sa inyo. Alangan naman kung magpapahuli ako. So kailangan kong maging up to date din. Sige, let's go. Proceed na tayo. Next item. What can be said with Jezreel who obtained a score of 59 out of 100? Again, ano daw ang masasabi mo sa isang estudyante na nakakuha ng 59 out of 100 items? A. She is better than 59% of her classmates. Letter B. She got 59 correct answers. Letter C. She is better than 41% of her classmates. Letter D. She performed better than the rest. Sige nga. Again, anong tinatanong dyan? Ang masasabi mo sa isang bata na nakakuha ng 59 score out of 100? Maraming magkakamali rito dahil alam ko iba yung natutunan. I mean, may ma-integrate kayo na knowledge about this and then magkakamali ka. And napakarami ko na pong nakikitang maling sagot. Oh, may isa pa sinabi, hinaan pa yung sagot. Sige nga. Sige. Ay, ang daming nagkakamali. Bakit? Nagsasaad ba dyan na percentile P59? Sinabi ba dyan na P59? O kayo talaga, Sinasabi ba dyan na P59? Sinasabi lang dyan na nakakuha siya ng 59 out of 100. Diba? O sige, sino yung mga sumagot ng letter A? Raise your hand. Maging honest ka dyan. Raise your hand. Sino yung sumagot ng letter A? Very good. O yun. Raise your hand. Kapag sumagot ka ng letter A, kapag sumagot ka ng letter C, kapag sumagot ka ng letter D, raise your hand. Now, all together, let's do this. Saktan mo sarili mo. Pak! Again. Saktan mo sarili mo. Pak! Sabihin mo, ang tanga ko. Again, sabihin mo, ang tanga ko. O, bakit? Sinasabi ba dyan na percentile P59? Kapag sinabi, what can be said with a student who belong to the P59? What does it mean? That's she is better than 59% of her classmates. Pero hindi yun ang tanong. Ang tinanong dyan, ang bata daw nakakuha ng 59 out of 100. Ibig sabihin, the learner got 59 correct answers. Very good. Sinaktan mo ba sarili mo? Masakit ba? Mas masakit yan ang bumagsak. So, kailangan mong maging mapagmatyag. Wag lang po talaga na sinasabi agad, ay, score of 59, she's better than 59% of... Di ba? Kailangan mo rin po basahin. Okay? Intindihin mo. Dahil ang Prof. Ed po, hindi Gen Ed. Tandaan mo yan. Pasok mo yan sa utak mo. Ang Gen Ed po, pagkakita mo, yun na talaga yung sagot. Hindi magbabago yan. Pero ang Prof. Ed, tricky siya. Ulitin ko, ang Prof. Ed, tricky siya. Malinaw? Yes. So that's letter B. Next item. What is the level of mastery for grade of 75? What is the level of mastery for a grade of 75? Level of mastery. Sige nga, tingnan natin kung kaya nyo. What is the level of mastery for grade of 75? You anticipate correct answers. You put it on the chat box. I will read. What is the level of mastery for grade of 75? O sige, pag 75 to 79, that's fairly satisfactory. Kapag 80 to 84, that's satisfactory. Kapag 85 to 89, that's very satisfactory. Kapag 90 and up, that's outstanding. Kayong mga nagtuturo dyan, alam na natin to. Pero yung mga hindi pa nag-teach, dahil bawal, kasi wala silang lisensya, medyo hindi pa nila to alam. Ulitin ko, kapag 75, again, kapag 75 to 79, that's FS, fairly satisfactory. Kapag naman po 80 to 84, that is satisfactory. S. Kapag naman po 85 to 89, that's very satisfactory. Kapag naman po 90 to above, that's outstanding. So the correct answer here is A, B, C, or D. Letter, may sumagot pa rin ng B. May sumagot pa rin ng did not meet expectations. Nakikinig ba kayo? Ayan. Ano ba yung did not meet expectation? What is being expected of us? 75. Yung kailangan ng gobyerno, 75. So kapag 75 below, tinatanong sa board exam, which of the following did not meet expectation? 75 below. Ulitin ko. Which of the following did not meet expectation? At 75 below. Pero ang tanong dito, ang grade na 75, ano ang level of mastery? That is fairly satisfactory. That is fairly satisfactory. Malinaw? Yes. Now, i-drill natin. Kapag 90, outstanding. Kapag 88, very satisfactory. Kapag naman po 80, satisfactory. Kapag naman po 79, fairly satisfactory. Kapag naman po 84, satisfactory. Kapag naman po 85, very satisfactory. Kapag naman po 89, very satisfactory. Kapag naman po 75 below, did not meet expectation. Kapag 75 below, did not meet expectation. What about for 75? Fairly satisfactory. What about for 78? Fairly satisfactory. What about for 80? Satisfactory. What about for 90? Outstanding. What about for 89? Very satisfactory. What about for 75 below? Did not meet expectation. Grabe naman. Kuha na ba? Yes. Ayos pa ba dyan? Yes. I hope teacher review this video, drill yourself so that you will be able to answer the questions I have thrown. Next. Which exemplifies purposive behaviorism? Which exemplifies purposive behaviorism? What is purposive? Objectives, of course. Now, let's go. Letter A, drilling the lesson. Letter B, stating the intended learning outcomes clearly. Letter C, finishing lessons in time. Letter D, implement varied activities. Again, which exemplifies purposive behaviorism. Sino ang proponent ng purposive behaviorism? Tolman or Watson? Who is the proponent for purposive behaviorism? Tolman or Watson? Very good. Tolman. Again, very good. Tolman. Sino ang father of behaviorism? Watson. Pero sino ang neo-behaviorism? Tolman. I hope malinaw yan ha. So now, which is which? Drilling the lesson, that is for Thorndike's. Stating the intended learning outcomes, that is for purposive behaviorism. Finishing the lesson on time, that is for time-bounded. Implement varied activities, that is for multiple intelligences. Di ba? I-drill natin. Kapag naman po multiple intelligences, implement varied activities. Sinong proponent ng multiple intelligences again? Howard Gardner. Again, sino yan? Howard Gardner. What about for Thorndike's? Drills, the importance of drills, di ba? Readiness, drills, or exercise effect. And then, what about for intended learning outcomes should be clearly spoken out? That's from purposive behaviorism. What about for time-bounded? That's finishing the lesson on time. Okay? Tinatanong sa board exam, what is SMART? S for specific, M for measurable, A for attainable, T for time-bounded, and then R for result-oriented, and then SMART. T for time-bounded, sorry. SMART. Bakit nauna yung T? SMART. Okay, tinatanong din yan sa board exam. Bonus na yan kapag alam mo. Next. Which is an effective way of classroom management? Which is an effective way of classroom management? A, reactive. B, preventive. C, coercive. Letter D, imposed. Sige nga. Which is an effective way of classroom management? Reactive, preventive, coercive, imposed. Ano ba yung imposed? Sundin mo to. Huwag kang sasagot-sagot. Huwag kang tatanong-tanong. Ito yung batas. Sundin mo. That's coercive. So letter C and D, they are synonymous. Therefore, none of them is the correct answer. Let's go to A or B. Is it A or B? Again, way of classroom management. Effective ha, effective. Tingnan natin kung sino yung mga makakasagot dito. Pang top notcher ang tanong na to. Pang top notcher ang tanong na to. Sige nga. Okay. Raise your hand if you answered letter A. Raise your hand if you answered letter A. Alam mo na siguro yung mangyayari. Do it again. Ayun, tanga ka na naman. Effective way of classroom management? O sige, i-demonstrate ko sa iyo yung reactive. May nag-uusap, sabihin mo agad, bakit kayo nag-uusap? Tumigil kayo. May nag-aaway, hoy, bakit kayo nag-aaway? May nagsusuntukan, huwag kayong magsusuntukan. Yun yung reactive. Kung kailan dumating ang problema, dun mo sinusolusyonan. Okay? Reactive. What is preventive? Proactive. Teachers, that's why we do routine activities. We implement classroom rules. Before you start your discussion, before you start anything, you give them the classroom rules. You allow them to do routine activities. So ano yun? Preventive. 'Di ba? Lagi nating sinasabi, these are the classroom rules that you need to follow. Nangyari na ba ang krimen? Hindi pa. Prevent mo na. That's why you give classroom rules to prevent reactive method. Okay? You turn on your camera when you want to speak. You turn on your microphone when you want to speak. You respect everybody. You don't talk while the teachers are talking. You raise your hand if you want to answer. 'Di ba? Those are classroom routines, classroom rules that you need to follow, that you need to implement para ma-prevent ang mga misbehaviors. That's what you call preventive. Ano ang other term for preventive? Proactive. Ano ang term ng 'di ba? So hindi na ako gumagana talaga yung aking laptop. Okay. Sige. Okay. Correct answer is letter. Very good. If you were able to answer letter B, palakpakan mo yung sarili mo. Ibig sabihin, medyo konti mag-function rationally. Okay? Na kaya na niyang tingnan agad. Okay, preventive na i-imagine mo agad na, uy, dapat i-prevent nga. Okay? Next. Next item. Which promotes independent learning? Which promotes independent learning? Solving math drills, doing researches, participating in group activities, guided learning. Sige nga. Which promotes independent learning? Ang dami ninyong nagme-message ah. Current messages, 121. Pero sa spam messages, 622. Sa page, oh hala. Kailangan ko na ng social media tag dito. Information officer. Okay, very good. Independent learning, solving math drills. That's drills. That means the teacher is around. Participating in group activities. So group, no. Independent means ikaw lang mag-isa. Guided learning, that's still with the teacher. The correct answer here is doing researches. Okay? Kaya pala sir, di mo ko na-notice. Ma-notice ko rin yan kapag nabasa ko na lahat. So, I'm just, informing everybody na hindi agad ako makareply kasi ang dami po talaga. Ako lang nag-iisa. Tapos nagtuturo po ako. May estudyante pa po ako sa college. So, it's really difficult, no? For me, no? Kung ako lang mag-isa. So, don't worry, no? Makaka-reply din ako. At kapag nag-reply na ako, agad-agad na, no? Huwag ka nang marami pang tawag dito, mga cheche no? Yung ating pag-uusapan is yun lang talaga yung point mo agad para mabilisan. Kasi kapag nagre-reply ka pa ng mga ano-ano diyan, wala, hindi ko na mabalikan dahil matatabunan na naman. So, that's it. Okay, Sir Pahingi. Hi, Ma'am Marian. Bakit po? Mag-sponsor ka ng load? Ma'am Marian. Yes, sir. Fashion. Sige, ma'am. If you wish to sponsor load, here is my Gcash. Tada. Okay. On the chat box, ma'am. It's already around on the chat box. Hello, 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 hello. Uy, uy, uy. Okay. Yan, I already pinned. That's my number. Sige, let's go. Which promotes? That's letter B, doing researches. So, again, pag sinasabi nating independent learning, the student did it alone. Again, pag sinasabi nating independent learning, the student did it alone. Okay? DC Grace, I'm not playing with you around. I will remove you here. Ano ba naman yan? Kayo talaga. Huwag niyo akong salihan ng mga issues dyan. Walang ganun, ha? Ayun, 10 midgets lang daw. I-remove ko muna. I think tama na to. Ayan. O sige, pag-usapan natin ang tawag dito. Pag-usapan natin tong mga uh, wait ha, nawala ako. Ang tawag dito. Let's talk about the directing learning models. Ulitin ko. Let's talk about the directing learning models. Okay? Pag sinasabi nating demonstration method, I do, you watch. Again, pag demonstration method, I do, you watch. Pero kapag guided learning, we do it together. Ako si teacher, ikaw si student, we will do it together. Kapag naman po, ang tawag dito, kapag naman po, you do it alone, that is independent learning. That is discovery learning. Again, you do it alone, that's independent learning. Pero kapag you do it together, you pair the students, that's what you call peer learning. Peer learning. Again, you do it alone, independent learning. I do, you watch, demonstration. What about we do it together, guided learning? What about for you do it alone, independent learning? Malinaw ba yun? Yes. What about for you do it together, peer learning? Now, question sa board exam. When do you do demonstration? When do you do demonstration? You do demonstration when it's delicate for the students to handle, especially in the laboratory activities. Example, mga test tube, mga what else? Mga Bunsen burners, no? Yung mga delikado, si teacher lang dapat humahawak. Ang estudyante nanunood lang. That's demonstration. Pero kapag gusto nyo gawin yung task magkasama, that's guided learning. Pero kapag estudyante, pineer mo sila, that's what you call peer tutoring. Kapag naman po, you do it alone, that's what you call independent learning. Those are the, do you watch? That's modeling or demonstration. When do you do demonstration? Kung delikado ang ginagawa. Next. According to comprehension skills of Roldan, what comes next to critical thinking? Tingnan natin kung alam niyo to. According to the comprehension skills of Roldan, critical thinking. Please do not do this again. Teacher Dizzy. Okay, wait. Sige, what comes next to critical thinking? Ay, wala. Everybody say, let's see. Let's see. I don't know if kaya niyong i-spell. L-I-C-I. That's literal. Gikan literal. Padulong sa interpretative. And then, I mean, integrative, sorry. No. Literal, interpretative, and then critical, and then integrative. Sige. Again, that starts with literal. So, next is interpretative or comprehensive. Pangatlo is critical. And then ang pang-apat is integrative. So the correct answer here is what comes next man? That's integrative, letter B. Kapag tinanong naman sa board exam, teachers, how do you develop critical thinking? Again, kapag tinatanong sa board exam, how do you develop critical thinking? How would you answer? Kapag tinatanong sa board exam, how do you develop critical thinking? That's simply suspend judgment while there are not enough evidence gathered. Okay? That's for critical thinking. Pero ang question dito, what comes next to critical thinking? The answer is integrative. Integrative. What's the correct order? L for literal, I for interpretative, letter C for critical, letter D for integrative. Ano ba si interpretative? Comprehension, comprehensive. Okay? I hope malinaw yan. The correct answer is letter B for this question. But when you are asked, how do you develop critical thinking? Do not judge while there are no evidence. Okay? Not enough evidence gathered. Yes, nawawala-wala na kasi yung boses ko kasi ang aking laptop ay naglalag na talaga siya, no? Sumusuko na siya. 3 hours lang po ang at most na pwede dito kasi po baka mawala tong live na to, hindi ko na to ma-upload. Sayang naman. Sige. So, next. No worries, Ma'am Dizzy. We all commit mistakes. Basta wag lang pong mockery, parang yes. I did this for all of those who doesn't have the capability to go in a review center and only load ang kanilang ma-provide sa sarili nila. So they're here. So please at least a little bit of lang. So nakaka-offend. So yan, ayos lang po, walang problema. Sige, we have here, teachers, which chromosomes belongs to men? Which chromosomes belongs to men? O yan, letter A, X, letter B, Y, letter C, X and Y, letter D, X, Y, and Z. Again, which chromosome belongs to men? X, Y, X and Y, and or X, Y, and Z. Ma'am Ria May, hello. Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much po. Ma'am Rhea, thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, I appreciate this. Maraming salamat po. Thank you, Ma'am Rhea May. Yeah, so what's the correct answer? What's the correct answer? That is letter C. Yes, because for girls, they only have X. For boys, they have X and Y. Kayo mga asawa ninyo, kapag tinatanong kung sino, yung mga asawa ninyo, rather, sinasabi, bakit hindi mo ako mabigyan ng babaeng anak? Sampalin mo agad, girl. Okay? Sampalin mo agad. Sabihin mo, hoy, ikaw yung may Y chromosome. Yan ang mahirap kapag teacher, di ba? Kasi yung iba, naghahanap ng ibang kalandian kasi hindi daw sila mabigyan ng anak na babae. Ang problema para sila. Okay? Sila pala yung may problema kasi sila lang yung may kakayahan na i-identify kung boy or girl ba ang magiging anak. Okay? Hindi po hindi po ang babae. Walang kasalanan ng babae, di ba? Yun. Kaya ang mga lalaki talaga dapat aware sila na sila yung nag-identify na babae ba or lalaki ang anak. So again girls, kapag sinabi agad ng kapag sinabi agad ng boy husband mo, bakit di mo ko mabigyan ng babaeng anak? Sampalin mo agad, lakasan mo ng konti para magising sa katotohanan na hindi ikaw ang may kasalanan kundi siya siya lang. Ayan, so that's X and Y. Ang babae, X lang. Next. Okay, we have here which is referred to as assessment during learning. Again, which is referred to as assessment during learning. Anong tinatanong? During, after, before. During learning. Okay, that's the clue. What do you think is the correct answer here? Formative assessment, summative assessment, traditional assessment, authentic assessment. O types of assessment naman tayo. Pag 'di ba? Pag sinasabi nating assessment of learning, that is summative test, periodical test, unit test. You're done with your teaching, you're done with your instruction. What you do is what? Evaluate what the children or the learners have learned. Kapag assessment for learning, that is done before and during your teaching. Okay, ibig sabihin, kapag nagpapa-quiz ka, ibig sabihin mastery drill lang yan, formative assessment yan. Kapag naman po nagpapa-diagnostic test ka, that's before pa rin, kasi nga po, before teaching. Kapag naman po nagpa-pre-test, kapag naman po nagpa-placement, kapag naman po kahit ano ng test before you do the instruction, that's still for learning. Okay? Kapag naman po assessment as learning, dalawa po ang tinutukoy dyan. Si estudyante at si teacher. Si estudyante po, siya yung nagdudo ng self-directed learning. Kapag naman po si teacher, siya yung nag-a-attend ng CPD, Continuing Professional Development. by virtue of the Republic Act 10912. How many CPD units is needed for you to renew your license now? 15. Again, how many CPD units? 15 CPD units. Okay? So, ano ang tinatanong dyan? During learning, is it formative? Is it summative? Is it traditional? Is it authentic? Yes po, i-upload ko po ito. You can review this one. Okay. That is formative assessment. Bakit? During. Siya lang po ang during. Letter B po, assessment of na yan kasi summative. Si traditional naman po at si authentic, sila po yung mga, ang tawag dito, sila yung mga assessment na inutilize natin sa kasalukuyan, yung authentic. Anong tawag dyan? Realia. Okay? Yung mga bagay na pinapagawa natin first hand sa mga estudyante, ang tawag dyan, authentic assessment. Yung performance evaluation nila, yung performance task na binibigay natin sa kanila, those are authentic learning. Kapag naman po traditional, simple as paper, pencil. Simple as paper, pencil po ang ating ginagawa dyan. Malinaw ba yun? Yes, teacher. So at least ang tamang sagot dito is formative assessment. Ulitin natin. Kapag po assessment for learning, ang tatandaan mo dyan, hindi ka pa tapos nag-teach at hindi ka pa nagsimulang mag-teach. So during and before teaching, that is assessment for learning. Malinaw yon. What are the examples of tests under assessment for learning? You say PADPREFO. PADPREFO. P for placement, A for aptitude test, D for diagnostic test, pre for pre-test, for formative assessment. Okay, formal operational ba? Oy, Piaget yun. Okay, so yun. Again, when do you give placement test? Kapag po gusto mong malaman kung ang bata row 1, row 2, row 3, or gusto mong malaman kung ang bata section 1, section 2, section 3. Kapag naman po aptitude test, gusto mong malaman kung ang bata ba magaling siya sa isang area of knowledge. Ibig sabihin, okay, gusto kong malaman kung si teacher RJ magaling ba sa science. Pinapatest ko sa science. Ang tawag sa test na yon is aptitude test. Okay? Kapag naman po diagnostic test, I want to know your weaknesses and your strengths. Kapag naman po pre-test, binibigay yan before you teach para malaman mo after the teaching kung mataas ba yung score niya. Okay? Kapag naman po formative test, ito yung quiz. Is an example of formative test. Board exam question. Quiz is an example of blank. Formative assessment. That's all about for learning. Of learning naman po, yung LET, yung summative, yung unit test, yung periodical test, yung quarterly assessment. Tinatanong sa board exam, parehas ba ang quarterly assessment from grade 1 to 10? Yes, 20%. Parehas lang ba? Yes, 20%. Malinaw yan. Very good. So, for us learning naman po, estudyante lang yun at si teacher. Kay student, ano nga ang ginagawa ni student? Anong ginagawa ni student? Nag-self-directed learning siya. Okay? Research, no? What about for us learning of teachers? CPD, Continuing Professional Development. Yung Republic Act 10912 na 15 units bago makapag-renew si teacher ng kanyang lisensya, dapat meron siyang 15 CPD units. Huwag na kayo makipag-argue na for na pong IRR dyan na inilabas na 15 na lang po ang ating kailangan, di ba? At least maliit na lang. Pero kapag mapasok po no, education advocate, sana po yung 15 CPD units na yan, hindi na natin kailangan pang magbayad para sa mga trainings. I hope government will provide, no? Hindi naman po ako against sa CPD. Pero again, kung maaari lang sana i-subsidize, mahal-mahal po ng mga CPD trainings. Yes, 2,500, no? Tapos, ayun, kailangan pa bang magbayad ni teacher para mag-improve siya? Di ba? We can do it naman po siguro if we really wanted to. Nagiging compliance kasi siya ngayon, no? So, kailangan po, siguro i-subsidize ang mga training centers para sila magbigay libre po para si teacher para talaga sa kanyang improvement, hindi dahil requirement. Okay? Next. Teachers. Okay, teachers. I will now do the drill from the top. I will now do the drill from the start up to here. Okay? Sasabihin ko lang po, hindi po ako makapag-live this Friday kasi po duty ako sa school na aking pinagturuan kasi merong mahalagang bagay na kailangan kong gawin. Okay? I will be live siguro next na Friday. Pero I will upload naman po, subscribe and click the notification bell button para kapag nag-live, kita agad, di ba? So, I will now do the drill from the top up to here. Ang kaya ko lang pong madrill ha kasi po 3 hours na tayo baka mamatay ito agad yung laptop ko. Nako naman, wag naman sana. Sige. So, let's go. Naghahanap na siya ng kapalit kasi ayan, sound check. Okay. Sige. So, ayos na. Kapag malinaw na po yung boses ko diyan, sisimulan ko na po. Okay, here is the drill, no? Measures of central tendency tayo. Pag sinasabi nating most reliable, ang sagot, mean. Pag sinasabi ko namang middle most, anong sagot? Median. Kapag sinasabi ko namang mere inspection, anong sagot? Mode. Which is most reliable when there are outliers? Median. Which is easily affected when there are outliers? Mean. What is the arithmetic average? That's the mean. Punta tayo sa measures of variability. Kapag mas mataas ang standard deviation, maganda. Hindi. What do you mean by zero standard deviation? Scores are the same. Sumagot ka. Scores are the same. What is the simplest measure of variability? Range. How do you get the range? Highest score minus the lowest score. What is the most crude measure of variability? Variance. Very good. Which promotes conducive learning for students? No scolding. Again, no scolding. What about for shy learners? What do you do inside the classroom? You give them leadership rules. Again, what do you give them? Leadership rules. Well, punta tayo sa mga movements ni teacher inside the classroom. Kapag sinasabi kong dangling, what are the two types of dangling? Truncation and flip-flop. Pag sinasabi kong umalis, bumalik, that's truncation. What about for hindi handa ang bata, nagbigay agad ng activity si teacher? Thrust. Kapag hindi handang magkabata, gumamit ng thrust. What about for si teacher, ang bilis na distract nung dumaan ang kanyang stimulus bounded. What about si teacher, isang tangang natapos buong semester? That's what you call overdwelling. Again, ang tawag doon, overdwelling. What about si teacher, may mata sa likuran? Ang tawag doon, with itness. What about si teacher, pinagalitan ng isang estudyante, nag-escalate? The word is escalate. Ripple effect. Si teacher, nag-general impression sa bata. Anong tawag? Halo effect. Okay, punta tayo sa directing learning models. I do, you watch. Modeling. Again, I do, you watch. Modeling. You do it alone. Learning. You do it alone. Self-directed learning. What about we do it together? That's guided learning. What about you do it together? Kamong dalawang estudyante. That's peer learning. Again, that's what? That's peer learning. Punta tayo sa assessment of as and for. Pag sinasabi kong during the teaching, assessment for learning. Kapag sinasabi kong si teacher, nag-CPD units, that's what you call assessment as learning. Kapag naman po si student, nag-self-directed learning, that's assessment as learning. What about for summative test? That's assessment of learning. What about what about for unit test? That's assessment of learning. What about for achievement test? Assessment of learning. What about for diagnostic test? Assessment for learning. Okay, it is the test whether you know the strengths or weaknesses. Diagnostic. What about placement? What about for to test a specific knowledge in a specific subject? That's aptitude test. What about for quiz? Is an example of assessment. Formative assessment. Malinaw ba yon? Yes, punta tayo sa kurtuses. Kapag congregated to the right, negatively skewed. Kapag naman po congregated to the left, that's positively skewed. Kapag naman po skewed to the left, that's negatively skewed. Kapag naman po skewed to the right, that's positively skewed. Matalino si teacher. That's negatively skewed. Bobo si teacher. That's positively skewed. Matataas ang scores ng student. That's, matataas. That's negatively skewed. What about for mabababa ang scores? That's positively skewed. Punta tayo sa cortuses. Ano yun ang normal curve? Mesocortic. Ano naman yung heterogeneous? Heterogeneous. Platycortic. Again, heterogeneous. Platycortic. Ano naman yung puro naman matataas? Parehas ang scores. Homogeneous. That's leptocortic. Anong tawag doon? That's leptocortic. Ayos pa ba tayo dyan? Very good. Nakakasabay ka pa ba? Ayan. Again, nakakasabay ka pa ba? Yes. So, very good. Papasa na ba? Magtatap na? Ayan. Last board exam mo na ba to? Okay. Very good. Who identifies the gender of the children? It's the father. What is the correct order of the comprehension skills of Roldan? Very good. LICI. Okay. Literal, interpretative, critical, and the last one is integrative. Very good. Kapag sinasabi natin critical thinking, how do you develop that? That's suspend judgment while there are no evidence gathered. How do you identify, or how do you know if the classroom management is effective? Is it reactive or preventive? Is it reactive or preventive? Very good. It is about preventive. Okay? What about for purposive behaviorism? Ano dapat ang tatandaan mo dyan? The objective should be clearly said, no? The intended learning outcome should be clearly spoken. Hindi po pwede na si teacher diretso sa discussion without spelling out the objectives. Ano naman po ang kahalagahan ng drilling? That's all about the law of exercise. Kanino yan? Kay Thorndikes. Very good. Again, kay Thorndikes. Punta tayo sa descriptors of the grades of the students. What about for 75? Fairly satisfactory. What about for 90? That's satisfactory. What about for 85? That's very satisfactory. What about for 75 below? That's ang pinapakita dyan. That's 59 correct answers. Pero kapag ang tinatanong sa board exam, what does P59 means? The student performs better than 59% of his or her classmates. Now, let's go to the basic concepts and terms about the licensure exam. Pag sinasabi kong the foundation of all knowledge, kumang the transfer of learning, application. What about for the building up? Synthesis. What about for the analysis? What about judging? Evaluation again. What about to judge? Evaluation. Punta tayo sa types of curriculum. Supported curriculum. Pag sinasabi ko namang values ni teacher, that's hidden curriculum. Very good. What about for CHED? That's recommended curriculum. What about for tinuturo ni teacher? That's taught curriculum. Again, tinuturo ni teacher, taught curriculum. What about for, natutunan ng bata? Learned curriculum. Okay, what about for sinusulat na lesson plan ni teacher? Written curriculum. What's our mnemonics? Salt sa W. Salt sa RHW. I think I should end things here by saying, Sir Melvin would be very happy seeing you successful, and I hope so that you will pass the board examination. Kaya mo ba? Yes, there is not a possibility na hindi kaya ng isang tao ang isang bagay kung gusto niya. Again, remember, mahihirap na bagay sa buhay ay napakagandang makamtan, lalo na kapag pinaghirapan. You study, that's the only way to do it. I am here to help you. You study on your own. Afterwards, i-drill kita kung kaya mo na, idagdag ko tong kaalaman ko, mag-combine tayo, mag-top notcher ka. Ayos ba? Give me thumbs up. Ayos ba? Ayan, I would give you the chance to say your name with an LPT sa huli kahit first encounter pa natin to. I want you to say your name with an LPT sa huli. Ayos lang, marinig ng nanay mo. Very good. Maganda bang pakinggan? Mas maganda kapag nagkakatotoo yan. Okay? And to do, 2 buwan lang yan. Ano ba naman yan sa buong buhay mong i-enjoy ang lisensya mo? Okay? Make this channel as your partner. View the videos, at least one video at a time. At the same time, you study on your own. Let's compile the learnings. Let's discuss all of them. And we will be able to top or even, yes, top the board exam. Of course, pass it. 87 is the standard of your rating para perfect ranking. Teachers, Sir Melvin will tell you, if you wish to pass the board exam, you treat it as badly as you want to breathe. Kapag gusto mong makahinga, 'di ba? Gusto mong mabuhay. Hindi kung gusto mo ring makahinga, treat it, no? The way you treat your breathing. Para po pumasa agad. Huwag na pong babalik kasi po ang haba ng pila sa PRC. Goodbye, God bless you, and I have to upload this one right after this live. Thank you so much po sa lahat ng sumusuporta. Ma'am Ria May, I really appreciate po. Maraming salamat that I could give you quality service kasi po ang laptop ko ay medyo naglalag na. So I have to um, replace na, and I hope I can do this within this month. Thank you so much for being here. Mabuhay po kayong lahat, and congratulations for all those who passed. I salute you, the top 1, the 10 top notchers, and the passers. I appreciate, and from the bottom of my heart, I congratulate all of you. Hindi ko man po mabasa lahat ng mga mensahe ninyo, pero deep inside in my heart, alam ko po na masaya ka, at alam ko po sa sarili ko na masayang-masaya rin po ako. That's the most important thing. God bless you. I-end ko na po ha. Good night. Kung gusto mo pa mag-aral, no worries. I-upload ko po ito so you can view this one right after this live. Signing off, Sir Melvin. Girl.